Reason, hazy little thing. Enjoy responsibly.
At Wake Orthopedics Urgent Care, we spend days, nights, and weekends in 3 convenient locations providing specialized care for kids and adults. Sprains and strains, shoulders and knees, fractures, hammies, and more. All that and all without an appointment. Walk in or limp in, either way you'll get the care you need whenever you need it. Visit us today at wakemed.org.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
No giveaway. Jarvis goes in backhand and Hart with the save. Oh, Jarvis all alone now. Back out in front for Stahl. A backhand, he scores. He scores again. Oh my goodness. The captain is unreal. His second of the game. And the Hurricanes have got a 4-3 lead with 13:28. Oh, captain, my captain. Jordan Stahl writing a story in the Stanley Cup final.
Well, that was fun, to say the least, Victoria.
Big time. So much fun. Another night where Biff is like, what's going on?
I know.
What's happening?
I was at the Lenovo Center last night, which, by the way, shout-outs to the Caniacs.
Looked rockin'.
Oh, it was insane. It was absolutely insane in that building. Logan Stankoven starts the scoring off just over a minute into the game. He did the right thing, Victoria. He didn't score in the first 35 seconds.
Exactly. That was
He
key.
waited until after a minute in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox here, sitting in for Adam Gold, who's traveling back from Vegas, by the way. He's traveling back from Vegas. I don't know about you, Victoria, but this series, it's draining me.
Yeah.
It's draining me right now. But at the same time, I feel so energized from that win last night.
Mm-hmm.
The captain, Jordan Stahl, gets a pair of goals. We're going to talk about the captain. By the way, coming up here in about 30 minutes, we're having that full-on Brandon Bussi conversation. Because I know a lot of people are. I was at the Lenovo Center last night. I heard the Bussi chants. I was out there with the crowd.
Yeah.
As they were putting the sticker, the next banner up. As they're counting down to 16 total banners going up. They got 14, got 2 to go.
Yep.
I was out there with the crowd, Bussi chants going. I actually did an interview with a bunch of fans outside, and they said, Bussi. Yeah, Bussi's the guy. Bussi's the guy.
And Bussi, we trust
is the guy.
I love it.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt.
But we will have that conversation in 30 minutes.
What a roller coaster. This whole series.
This whole thing has just been absolutely bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Victoria, was it any different last night? Let's get this sucker started. We got to talk about last night. 5-3 Carolina Hurricanes win. We're tied 2-2, Victoria.
Let's go, Kaye.
We're tied, Victoria. Now, Victoria.
That was
Let's
my horn.
Now, there are definitely some things that stood out to me last night. Now, Victoria, correct me, tell me if there's anything in here that sounds familiar.
Okay.
Okay? One team takes a multi-goal lead. Said team loses said multi-goal lead. Defensive lapses and breakdowns leading to goals. Carolina strong in the first period. Vegas outscoring Carolina in the second period. Carolina outscoring the Golden Knights in the third period. At least 7 total goals scored in the game. And every time Vegas has the puck anywhere near the Canes' net, I get a bit nervous. Oh, and something that's never happened before in a Stanley Cup final happened last night.
Mm-hmm.
That about sum it up?
Yeah. That's pretty much the whole series.
Yeah, pretty much. So we had in the first 2 games, was the first time in Cup final history that both teams had come down from multiple goals in a game to win. Both teams did that back-to-back games to start games 1 and 2. First time that's ever happened in Stanley Cup final history. A team being down 4-0 in the third period and forcing overtime. Never happened before.
Right.
Oh, and now Carter Hart Vegas Golden Knights goaltender. I know people are booing right now. I understand. He's now become the first goalie in Stanley Cup final history to allow 4+ goals in each of the first 4 games of the series. Again, something that hasn't happened before happened again.
We're just making history nonstop.
We're only 4 games in, and it's 2-2, and we're back home. I said it yesterday. I was in the show I produce in Raleigh on 99.9 The Fan. 99.9 The Fan, the flagship station of the Adam Gold Show, which, by the way, follow us on YouTube. Go subscribe there. Look up the Adam Gold Show or look up 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe. We actually have a live video stream of the show that plays. So if you miss any of the show, the whole thing is streamed live, so you can go back and listen to stuff. You can keep receipts, people. I said this yesterday when I was producing the drive with Tim Donnelly in the afternoon, and we had the conversation of, is it must win? Last night, is it must win? I said, absolutely, it's a must win, because in previous Stanley Cups, teams that fell behind 3-1 in a series were only 1-38. 1-38 of actually winning the cup when you fall behind 3-1. Now, as the person that normally sits in this chair during the show, Adam Gold will tell you that history stuff doesn't matter right now. And he's right in that regard. But it just goes to show you and just illustrates how difficult it is to come from down a 3-1 deficit in the Stanley Cup final. So, yeah, I said absolutely it's a must win. That one win was back in the Leafs back in 1942.
Wow. It's a minute ago.
Little bit. Little bit. There's jokes in there. I'll save the time. But that's where we are. That's where we are. Are you enjoying yourself, Canes fans? I know you're enjoying yourself after last night, but I hope hockey fans are enjoying this as well. The head coach, Rob Brindamore, was asked this last night, by the way.
Not really. Pretty stressful. I know I need to, because this doesn't come around very often, but it's pretty stressful.
Yeah, it's stressful.
Yeah.
It is.
It's fun afterward if you win.
Of course, absolutely. And I think this is something that, again, you want to be in the moment. You want to enjoy the moment, embrace the moment, but you're focusing on the moment. We'll talk some big picture stuff. We'll hear from Jordan Stahl in a little bit regarding that. Again, 12:30, about 25 minutes from now, we're going to have the Brandon Bussi conversation. Don't you worry, folks. We will have that conversation. But even Nikolai Ehlers, who, by the way, has never been to a Stanley Cup final, has been in the league for 11 years. The constant back and forth of the series, the constant back and forth of these games, how's it been for him?
Yeah, that part, the lead changes and everything has been stressful, to say the least. It shows how good both teams are, and when you let up just a little bit, teams are going to take advantage. So it's stressful, but a lot of fun to be a part of, and obviously, I told my parents today, last night I was laying in bed and I was like, you got to realize you're playing in the Stanley Cup final. This might be the last time ever. It's my first time in 11 years, so it's extremely special. And to be doing that with this group is a lot of fun. So taking it every moment, but also want to get the job done.
Yeah. It's stressful, but I think it's very mature of Nikolai Ehlers to say, hey, I have to recognize that this is what I'm doing. And sure enough, he has a goal and 2 assists last night. A primary assist on the game-winning goal by Jordan Stahl, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. And let's not discount the empty netter. I know he flung it off the boards and all that kind of stuff. It took the bounce and everything, but
it was still crazy.
It was awesome. But the play about with Nikolai Ehlers on that empty netter, real quick note on that, is that Jalen Chatfield, I think he took down either Barbashev or Dorofeev. I think it was Barbashev, next to Brandon Bussi, just to the left of Brandon Bussi. And there's a battle for it in the corner. And Nikolai Ehlers is in the slot. And he recognizes the loose puck. And he just sprints towards it and jumps on it, recognizing, I got to get this puck out of the zone. And he did the right thing. You go high and hard off the glass. Anytime you're getting the puck out of the zone, I was taught this in hockey, and I still say this on my men's league team that I play on. You go high and hard off the glass to get the puck out. Because that's the the best percentage chance for you to get the puck out of the zone as opposed to just trying to rim it around low or even hip level because the guy can seal the wall. Go high and hard off the glass. And sure enough, it just took a couple bounces off the glass and you found the back of the net from 200 feet away. But he made plays last night, did Nikolai Ehlers. A goal, 2 assists. He was good last night. He was great last night. But yeah, this is highly stressful.
Yeah.
Especially these style of games. Every single game in this series has had at least 7 goals.
Which is insane.
Which is nuts.
Most people thought that it would be a low-scoring series, and it is quite the opposite.
I said that.
Yeah.
I said that.
Right.
I said that because Vegas does such a great job, or at least going into this Cup final, of keeping everyone to the outside. That's what they did to Colorado. They didn't allow anyone in the middle of the ice.
Yep.
And we also saw what Carolina was doing to everyone in the first 3 rounds. So I would assuming, this is going to be a 3-2 type game on a consistent basis, maybe even a 3-1 or even a 2-1. We saw against Ottawa 2-0, 3-1, 2-1. We saw against Montreal how many 3-2 games that we saw, at least I know games 2 and 3 that were won were 3-2 overtime games. That's what we were seeing constantly from this team. They weren't having the scoring output. But I actually recalling, we're going to play this audio clip here. I recall back to a conversation I had one-on-one with Rob Brindamore. This is back a day before the Ottawa series began.
Which feels like a lifetime
It was
ago.
basically 2 months ago. It was April 17th is when I had this conversation with Rob Brindamore. This was, again, going into the Ottawa series. And I asked him about the speed in which this team is able to play and the ability for them to generate scoring chances on the rush, but also having the ability to play a quote-unquote heavy game, a physical style game, and having the versatility to do that. And I asked Rod about that. Again, this is the day before Game 1 against Ottawa. Here's what Rob Brindamore said.
That's what I love about the group is it doesn't matter what the game is. I mean, if we got to win 6-5, we can clearly do that. And then if it's need to grind one out, I mean, we know we have the guys to do that. So I think that's where we maybe changed a little bit in past years. And we obviously, in the playoffs, it's usually people think it's a little more of a grinded out kind of game. But to have that element, if it does kind of go a little sideways and we can score goals, I think that just knowing that is a good thing.
Hey, you got to win a 6-5 game. You can win a 6-5 game. Again, all these games have been high scoring.
Yeah, which totally takes away any kind of comfort level when you go up 3-0.
Yeah. You're up
4-0.
Hey, you're up 2-0 in the first. We're all like,
yeah.
All right.
Okay, we still got 2 periods left.
And then sure enough, here goes Mark Stone on a breakaway.
Yeah, of course.
And he buries it. And then it's like, all right, the captain, Jordan Stahl, out in front, power play goal. We're all like, second period's upcoming.
Yep. Got that going for us.
There's that, which actually, Victoria, let's actually bring up that audio here for second periods when Rob Brindamore was asked about that. We're going to get to that here in just a second. But the ability of this team, this Carolina Hurricanes team, to adapt their style of play to whatever they need to do is not something that they were able to do in years past. Eric Tulsky himself said that if we played our game at our highest level, we knew we could win. But you have to be able to win in different ways. And now you look at the way this roster is constructed with the additions of Nikolai Ehlers, Alexander Nikishin just being in a rookie this season as opposed to literally just coming off a plane last year in the playoffs, the addition of Nikolai Ehlers, the growth of Jackson Blake and Logan Stankoven as young players, which we'll get to that in a sec. They have the ability to win this style of game. They do. And they're proving it. This is 6 straight games where the Carolina Hurricanes have scored at least 4 goals. 6 straight playoff games.
Yeah.
2 in the Eastern Conference Final against probably the best goalie that we saw in the postseason in Jakub Dobeš from Montreal. And then now against Vegas, who wasn't allowing anybody to score.
Which would be odd during a regular season game or series, but in the playoffs.
No. But that's where we are. The depth scoring is there. Now, again, Canes had a 3-1 lead there in the second period. Why are they struggling in the second period, Rod?
Playing a good team. It's not going to look pretty all 60 minutes. So they had a good push, and just the way the games I think have set up, we've had good starts, but they're a great team. They're not gonna let us get going again, and we made some errors, but it's a good team we're playing.
Yeah, it's a great team. It's been back and forth. Every single one of these games have been back and forth. And it's all about who capitalizes on their opportunities and who puts themselves in position to capitalize on those opportunities.
And who's not making mistakes.
That's where you get to the captain, Jordan Staal. As we continue this conversation here on the Adam Gold Show, Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vodenecker producing the show. Canes win last night 5-3 with 2 goals, including the game-winning goal by the captain, Jordan Staal. And that the third goal of the game, his first, on a power play, was all about doing what? Getting to the front of the net. Front of the net front presence. He wins the faceoffs, and he just parks that bear-sized body of his right in front of Carter Hart. Like he's a damn tree trunk that you can't move.
Definitely looks like a mountain man with that playoff beard.
I know, right? but that big body that you just physically can't move that guy off his spot. And then sure enough, there's a shot that comes from Shane Gostisbehere, which, by the way, credit to him for him getting the shot through, which he's been doing on the power play this series. He's been getting shots through. Puck bounces right there to Jordan Staal, and he collects the rebound. And Jordan Staal talked about that emphasis of getting to the front of the net.
Yeah, I've been telling the guys to get to the hoop for I don't know how long, years. So good things happen around there, and especially the way they play. There's opportunity to get there, and you just need to bounce. And I mean, a power play goal, I think went off of 4 different guys and just kind of sat there for me. So you got to be there, And I think we can still do a better job of that, and get in front of his eyes and get in the net and finding ways to just get bounces and creating chaos. And that's been our MO for a long time. And it's working for me, and the guys got to keep doing that.
In the playoffs, can you get to the middle of the ice? Can you get to the middle of the ice? That's how you win in the playoffs. And go to his game-winning goal that Jordan Staal scored last night. He put pressure on Shea Theodore, the top defenseman, one of the top 2 defensemen at least for the Vegas Golden Knights. He puts pressure on him. Jordan Staal puts pressure on Shea Theodore as he's carrying the puck around the net, and sure enough, causing the mistakes that we just talked about, Victoria. Shea Theodore ends up throwing it off the inside of the right skate of Jordan Staal, and it pops right to Seth Jarvis. Right to Seth Jarvis in the slot. He's all alone. Tries to go forehand, backhand. Carter Hart makes a great save. Credit where it's due, makes a great save. But also the thing about that play, Victoria, as well, is that not only did Seth Jarvis, the save made by Carter Hart, he stuck with it and kept hunting that puck.
Yep.
There were 4 Vegas Golden Knights around him. And the puck still finds its way to Nikolai Ehlers. Now, it came off the stick of a Vegas Golden Knight player, but Seth Jarvis was battling for it with literally, there were like 4 guys around him.
He was.
And what does Nikolai Ehlers do? He gets in tight to the middle of the ice. Where does Jordan Staal get to? To the middle of the ice. And a puck that kind of finds its way to Ehlers, who he said after the game wasn't sure if his pass was going to get over to Jordan Staal because he felt like he didn't get enough of it because the puck wasn't sitting flat. And then Jordan Staal blows a tire.
He does.
Talk about the game of inches, right? He blows a tire like as he's trying to one-time it into the net as he's falling down. I've seen me do this in beer league. Falling down on the ice, and he just whacks at it backhand, gets enough of it, and Carter Hart diving over, it like skims the top of his glove and finds its way into the back of the net. Just the stick-to-itiveness in so many situations in literally a matter of seconds.
It's crazy.
And the big guy gets it done again. Not only does he lead in terms of when he speaks in the locker room, and like he is the right-hand man of Rob Brindamore, but he's leading through action. Did you know, Victoria?
Yes.
This is from our good friend Walt Ruff. That Jordan Staal is only the 3rd player in the last 40 years to to record goals in 4 straight Stanley Cup final games.
Yes, they put that stat up there, and I was like, oh, look at him go.
Sam Reinhart did it last year for the Florida Panthers, and back in 2019, Ryan O'Reilly did it for the St. Louis Blues.
Mm-hmm.
The only guys in the last 40 years to do this. He has 5 goals in 4 games.
That's saying something.
In Stanley Cup final games. And we, obviously, us in media and fans talk about it, how he won a cup when he was 20 years old back in 2009, playing alongside Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, Marc-Andre Fleury up there with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Won a Stanley Cup when he was 20 years old. Scored 2 goals, by the way, in that Stanley Cup final series. We look at it, wow, now he's 37 years old, captaining a team. First time he's been back there since 2009. It's been 17 years. Looking at that big picture stuff. But Jordan Staal, he's just focusing on one thing at a time.
Yeah, I don't think big picture right now. It's just too, I know you guys like asking those questions. It's just too hard to think like that. It's just like, my goodness, it's the next shift, next play, next game, next everything. And that's all that's running through my brain is like, we got 2 more wins. We got, and that's it. And, we'll talk about that after if you want. But right now, that's all I'm focused on. And I want to keep it that way.
Just focusing on the moment. Just one shift at a time. That's all you do.
That's smart.
Because that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Because if you start thinking big picture and start thinking too much about stuff, which, by the way, we'll hear from Brandon Bussi about those kinds of things here in just a moment. But if you start focusing on big picture, you lose sight of the moment. Not saying you don't enjoy the moment or appreciate it, but you can appreciate this stuff after you've completed the task because there's still a job to be done. It's 2-2. It's a 3-game series now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're back home at Lenovo tomorrow, which, by the way, that place is going to be freaking nuts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
2-2 back home. I said this before the series. All right? I said this before the series. I even said it after they lost game 1. I said if they can get 2-2, like they win game 2, they split. So they split here in Carolina the first 2 games, and they just get a split in Vegas. If you do that and you're back 2-2, series tied, game 5, Canes are winning this thing.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. Canes are winning this thing.
Sure hope so.
They are. In my opinion, I think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way your captain's playing, some of your top guys are contributing on the score sheet. Sebastian Aho getting on the score sheet again. Seth Jarvis getting on the... Actually, I think Seth Jarvis actually was not credited in the system.
Yeah, no.
But also your depth scoring throughout your lineup, which we have seen throughout this entire regular season, but throughout this postseason. Oh, by the way, Logan Stankoven and Jackson Blake just had to remind everyone of who they are again.
Right.
Just, by the way, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. Logan Stankoven has 12 goals this postseason.
That's crazy.
12.
I'm so proud of him.
Me too. Which, by the way, we are fully accepting apologies from all the people out there who are bashing on Logan Stankoven. We're like, this guy stinks. Yeah. Scratch the guy, move him back to the wing, put him on the 4th line. He's not a center in this league. All that. He ain't going to work in the playoffs with his size, blah, 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 blah. Where are you now, all you stooges?
Mm-hmm. It's garbage.
Where are you now? We will fully accept apologies. You can @ me at the Fan Rookie. You can jump in the comment section of the video, 999 The Fan on YouTube, or search The Adam Gold Show. We will accept your apologies. We will continue to accept your apologies. I remember last year as well, Victoria. Jackson Blake as a rookie had a rough postseason last year. He did. He genuinely had a rough postseason. And I heard from fans. I even heard it from media members. People that probably you've even heard on these airwaves before say, I don't know, they got to move on from Jackson Blake. I was like, why? Like, he's just a rookie. Like, he's not built for postseason hockey. He's not. Like, he's clearly not built for postseason hockey. He's not going to ever do anything in the postseason, ever. Because he was ended up playing 4th line minutes and stuff last year in the postseason. Again, he's a rookie that was battling through it, experiencing it for the first time. I don't hear any of that right now. His points per game in the postseason has gone up from the regular season, Victoria.
Yeah.
It's gone up. Same thing with Logan Stankoven. His production's gone up. And it's not like, oh, this is game number 1 or game number 2. Like, oh, wow, hot start for these guys.
Nope.
This has been consistent.
Yep.
It's been consistent. Who scored the first goal in game number 2? It was Logan Stankoven. Who scored a goal in game number 3? Taylor Hall. Who scored in game number 4? Logan Stankoven and Jackson Blake. They've been doing it. And you think, we all notice it. The media notices it. Fans notice it.
Yeah.
The other teams notice it. And guess what? They're still doing it. They're still doing it.
And thank goodness they are, because I love our top guys, but they've just been so quiet for most of this playoff series that it's just, I don't know. I'm really glad. They're keeping us in it. Stankoven, Hall, Blake, Ehlers, they are keeping it. Miller.
Ehlers has been everything that you paid him to be.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you paid him to be. Absolutely fantastic. Now, it wasn't pretty. We said this here at the top of the show. By the way, the Adam Gold Show, Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vodenecker producing the show. I said it right here at the top of the program about how the way the Canes played last night was exactly the way they've played these first 3 games. The way they played in front of Brandon Bussi was no different than how they played in front of Frederick Anderson. But when you needed a late save last night, the right guy was in net. And that guy should stay in net. We're going to have that conversation in 4 minutes on the Adam Gold Show.
His Zamboni is bigger than yours. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Can't get enough of the Carolina Hurricanes? Check out my podcast, Iced Tea, hosted by me, Megan LaMontagne, as I take you behind the scenes and get exclusive stories about the team. This season, I've interviewed Seth Jarvis's brother, Caden, who talks about a young Jarvie growing up, longtime PA announcer Wade Minter, who spills the tea on how a mess-up made national news, and legendary color commentator Trip Tracy, just to name a few of the guests. Listen wherever you get your podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Still got the NBA Finals, and new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel, best place to bet your favorite player props during the NBA Finals. Play your game any way you want, and best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly, cash money, or at least virtual money. FanDuel.com/local, FanDuel.com/local, and new customers, a 7-day wagering streak gets you $350 of FanDuel money. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
This is the sound of Jack buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. Oh, ouch. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
The Father's Day Summer Grill Sale is here at Atlantic Spas and Billiards on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Save up to $700 on a Kamado Joe kettle grill or pick up a Green Mountain pellet grill at the lowest price of the year. This highly rated pellet grill comes with Wi-Fi, 2 meat probes, and all the grill accessories are 50% off. Atlantic Spas and Billiards is the billiard, dart, and game headquarters of the Triangle. Something is here for the whole family. Pool tables, shuffleboard, foosball, outdoor ping pong, and more. Atlantic Spas and Billiards in Raleigh and Wilmington.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Because you guys do everything for the exterior of your home, these things can add up. And there are a lot of people who think, I can't afford this. How can the Aluminum Company make it easier?
Yeah, well, Adam, we have plans that are 12 months, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months, which make it super affordable for people to do anything on their home, whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, gutters, any kind of exterior home improvement. The Aluminum Company has financing plans that can fit in your budget and make it easy.
So wait a second. I can get everything done, no interest, and no payments for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done.
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Gold. Gold.
I told Jack in the car, you know what the word of the year is? He goes, what? I said it's 6'7". He just laughed.
I know.
It just means nothing. And that's fantastic that it's now the word of the year. What a country.
Can we bring back cool story, bro? That way, us millennials can be like, yeah, cool story, bro. I would love
The Adam Gold Show.
Victoria, last night before the game, or even just after game number 3 and the days leading up to game number 4, I was pretty convinced that Rob Brindamore was going to go with Frederick Anderson back in net. Even though Brandon Bussi played well in game number 3, I think it would have been, hey, this is a good chance for a mental and physical reset for Frederick Anderson. Just kind of sitting for a little bit. I think it might be a good thing for him. And in a game that I deemed as must-win in game number 4, I said that's a must-win game for Carolina. You're not going to come back and win 3 straight games against Vegas.
No.
In my opinion. I didn't think you were. I understand
Especially not the way the series is going.
Exactly. It's too back and forth. It's too close to just anticipate. Yeah, we'll just go win 3 straight games. You got to win 2 straight.
Deal.
You just need to win 2 straight.
Right, yeah. It's not Ottawa or the Canadians.
It ain't Philly, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see Brandon Bussi last night. I did. By the way, it's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vonecker producing the show. Adam's on his way back from Vegas. He'll be ready here for game number 5 tomorrow night. I was convinced that Rob was going to go with Freddie. It's just my gut feeling. You had the maintenance day of practice a couple days ago. I'm like, okay, this, to me it feels like, especially watching the games, that the way Carolina was playing in front of Frederick Anderson wasn't great. We all can acknowledge that. And even yesterday, for stretches, it wasn't great in front of Brandon Bussi either. Let's not forget that late in the first period, with about 20 seconds left, Logan Stankoven, after a face-off, has a bad turnover in the offensive zone. Bad turnover. Soft with the pass, gets picked off. Vegas gets it out to center ice. They kind of chip the puck in. And Jacob Slavin, old reliable Jacob Slavin, gets the puck in the defensive end and gives it away himself. They had 2 giveaways in a span of about 8 seconds. Actually, in a span of about 10 seconds. Canes had 2 giveaways. Vegas gets the puck. They quickly cycle it. They send a cross-ice pass, and Brady McNabb hammers a one-timer past Brandon Bussi that makes it 3-2, except it was about a quarter second too late. About a quarter second too late. So the defensive breakdowns that we saw in front of Frederick Anderson, we were seeing the exact same things yesterday. We saw the same things. But I wanted to see Brandon Bussi because I felt like his athleticism and his explosiveness that he showed throughout the regular season, but what he was able to display in game number 3, to me it felt like if there was a desperate in-tight save that you needed to make, that Bussi was going to give you that better chance. And we saw that last night with about 7 minutes and 40 seconds left against Jack Eichel. We did. But now the question was, again, before we got to that point, was the decision. Was Rod going to go with Bussi? Was Rod going to go with Frederick Anderson? And Rod, post-game, what went into the decision to start Brandon Bussi?
About a minute conversation with our goalie coach, and said Freddie needs a little break. Okay. So we went with the other guy, and if you're going to give him a break, you need to give him a break. So to me, him dressing and going through all that, and just that's not really giving him a night off. So it's just, that's it.
So, yeah, there we go. There we go. That went into the decision. So Pyotr Kochetkov backed up last night.
I know.
Pyotr Kochetkov, last time he played was actually a couple of conditioning starts at the end of the regular season with the Chicago Wolves.
I'm glad he remembered how to put his pads on.
I know.
It's been so long.
I mean, he's been practicing.
Sure, yeah.
But like, oh, I have a game jersey? What is this?
The real deal?
So last night, in my eyes, a couple of the saves that we saw Brandon Bussi make last night, again, with about 7 minutes and 40 seconds left. I remember it was Jack Eichel got inside positioning on Sebastian Aho. And just before that, Shane Gostisbehere got knocked down. And he was chasing his man, because the Carolina Hurricanes play man-to-man in the defensive end. And he was chasing his man into the corner. So he really wasn't able to get a stick on the pass. So the guy from Vegas, I can't remember who it was, I think it was Barbashev, was able to get a free look to Jack Eichel, who just sends the pass, Barbashev does, to Eichel right there on the back door. And Eichel gets a stick on it, but the Brandon Bussi explosiveness from his right to his left gets a pad on it and just absolutely stuffs Jack Eichel. And then also give credit to Carolina, because I felt like Carolina in the last good stretch of the period, I felt like they locked it down defensively. Much better in the third than we've seen in previous games. Well, even what they were doing in the second period. I thought they were much tighter defensively, and even the Jacob Slavin, the error that we mentioned earlier, he looked like the Jacob Slavin we knew in the third. Like, he looked like that in the third period. And they did a good job of clearing some pucks out. But late in the game, when you needed a stop, Bussi was there to do it. And to think, that's just his second game that he's played since April, 14th? It's been that long.
Yeah.
Now, Brandon Bussi was asked after the game, did playing in Game 3 help? Here's what Bussi had to say.
Yeah, for sure. I think, it's hard to keep game reps in practice, right? So I think that definitely helped for sure. But credit to our team, our work ethic in practice, and all the skates that, I've been doing throughout the playoffs here to keep me ready.
Getting those game reps, like, it's just, you can't, I use the term, you can't replace grass time, or in this case, ice time. It's one thing to do it in practice. Like, you could take a bunch of shots in practice. It ain't the speed of a game where you got a team barreling down on you. You got guys that are bumping into you in front of the net, guys that are truly hacking and whacking at a loose puck. It's different. It just is. The speed of the game is just that much different. I felt it was good for Brandon Bussi to get his first playoff experience in that Game 3. And what I felt was a relatively low-stakes situation. Going into the third period, you're down 4-0. Hey, guess what? If you lose the game, well, you're down 4-0. You're supposed to lose, right? And also, he didn't have time to think about it. It's just, hey, Bus, you're in. You're net. Okay, let me get stretched and warmed up. Like, I'm going in, and you just play. You don't have time to think about it. But how do you handle things mentally as a goaltender now knowing that you're going to start? Because I feel like Brandon Bussi didn't have a chance to really feel like the full game day jitters.
Sure.
Because he wasn't starting.
It's
at least in
minute.
Game 3, it's just like, all right.
Hey, you're in.
I'm in. All right, let's go.
Yep.
You don't have time to think about it. How do you handle knowing you're going to start in a game that I said was must win? And I bet they were thinking the exact same thing. That's part of the reasons why I thought Rob was going to go with Freddie. But nonetheless, Brandon Bussi, when did he find out he was starting?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Rod talk about that when he told me. But all that matters is that I found out at some point. So obviously, it's cool to help the team, win. So, and in regards to the future, whatever happens, I'll be ready to go.
He found out when he found out. Now look at the goals that were allowed yesterday. There's Mark Stone, which, by the way, just fantastic player. Just lurking there at the blue line, just hey, here I am, just quietly just going to slip behind the defense. It's Mark Stone. How do you let that guy just all of a sudden just wide open again?
Like a ninja.
Right? He finds his way through the defense, is able to tuck one in on a breakaway. Fantastic goal, which, by the way, very little angle. He had probably about I think the puck was probably about 3 inches above the goal line when he shot the puck. The shot had to be precise, and he nailed it. Give Mark Stone credit. The second one was Carolina was in a line change. They didn't have someone back covering for Sean Walker, who had carried the puck up the ice. You also had part of that situation as well was the Seth Jarvis not getting the puck deep. So anyway, it's just, before you know it, the puck's coming around. I'm sorry, that was the third goal. The second goal is actually the puck comes around the net, and it's a one-timer by William Karlsson. I don't think Bussi actually saw it because that shot went through the legs of Sean Walker. I don't think he saw it. But the goal I was just describing a little bit ago was the third goal that was scored by Brett Howden. And guys not getting back to cover. Jarvis doesn't get the puck deep in the corner as guys are changing. So it's a quick transition opportunity. And Brett Howden has this beautiful toe drag shot through the legs of Keandre Miller that goes bar down. It's a great shot.
He's been having a series, too.
He's having a postseason.
Unfortunately.
He's having a postseason.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Bussi was there. He made a couple good saves early. I mean, each of those shots were fantastic. Maybe you could sit there and say, would you like for him to come up with one of those? Sure, absolutely. But as I said to start this segment, the play in front of Brandon Bussi didn't really look any different than the play in front of Freddie Anderson. But late in the third period, when you needed that stop on Jack Eichel, I don't think Freddie would have got there. I don't think so. Bussi did. And I think having that game experience, having played 2 games now, having felt the feeling of starting, he's now more prepared for it the next time he has to do it. You run it back with Brandon Bussi. You run it back with Brandon Bussi tomorrow. In my opinion, you run it back with the bus.
Might as well.
And by the way, his teammates recognize it as well. Nikolai Ehlers, after the game, talked about Bussi stepping in net to start.
It was unbelievable tonight. To go out and put a performance on like that after not playing for a while is impressive. But we have confidence in our goalies, and he's been coming to the rink every single day with a smiling face and been working really hard, so we knew he was ready for it, and he showed that.
He was great.
Yeah.
He really was.
And it was funny when he was talking with Emily Kaplan afterward, and she was like, so are you going to be in for the next game? And he was like, talk to Roddy.
Yeah, he's like, talk to Rod. Yeah. He was actually asked about the game, and he was described it. He's like, yeah, it was pretty hectic, just like this series has been. Like that conversation with Emily Kaplan of ESPN. And he used the word, it's been hectic. Or this game was hectic, just like this series has been. I was like, that's the best way I've heard this series described.
Yeah.
Hectic.
Yeah. Find the lie.
None detected.
Yeah.
None detected. Again, I think you start Bussi. I'm not trying to discredit what Freddie Anderson has done this postseason for Carolina. The fact that you got to a cup final where he started every game in the first 3 rounds with Freddie Anderson is a phenomenal thing. It truly is. But I think it might be the time, like you use a baseball term, go to the closer.
Yeah.
Go to the closer. The guy that's fresh, the guy that can make these saves. And guess what? He starts tomorrow. You get 2 days off before you play in Vegas for Game 6. And then you get 2 days off before you play in Game 7 back here in Raleigh.
Right. And I mean, Freddie's been phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. But we all know Freddie, the Freddie we love so much. And he does have a shelf life, at least somewhat. So it does not surprise me that he needed a break.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But I think you run it back with the bus tomorrow. I think you do.
Yeah.
It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria DeVoe-Necker producing the show as always. We saw some one-timers last night. We have our own one-timers from you, the listeners, next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Still got the NBA Finals, and new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel, best place to bet your favorite player props during the NBA Finals. Play your game any way you want, and best of all with FanDuel, you get paid instantly, cash money, or at least virtual money. FanDuel.com/local, FanDuel.com/local, and new customers, a 7-day wagering streak gets you $350 of FanDuel money. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Carolina Complete Health. From neighborhoods in Charlotte to families in Greensboro, Raleigh, and Durham, all the way to Asheville and Wilmington, and everything in between. We are here for communities across North Carolina, connecting you to the care and support you need. We are here to make healthcare easier to access and understand. We are here to bridge the gap, because your health matters. Your community matters. You matter. We are here for your health. Visit hereforyourhealthnc.com.
As public power customers, we experience fewer outages and faster restoration than customers of other electric providers. But the benefits of having a locally owned electric system go far beyond unbeaten reliability. Our local public power employees support our community, providing electric hookups for events, installing and maintaining ballpark lights, holiday lights, traffic lights, street lights, and more. Local people working together to meet local needs. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
If you are on Medicare, scammers may target you to steal your identity. Remember, Medicare will never call you asking for personal details. The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medicare Patrol program is here to protect you from fraud and provide you with knowledge to stay safe. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Card 7 years in a row, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops. Our philosophy is simple: be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
I'm the threat that's already inside the house. In the closet, under the bed, in the car. But I don't want your money or your TV. I can't be scared away or negotiated with. I'm patient and quiet. I don't sleep. You can't call the cops on me. You can't even see me. I'm the threat of family fire. And as long as your guns aren't stored securely, I'll be there. Protect your family. Secure all your guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
This is Adam Gold.
Steve Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick, bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just moved this wall like the Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
If you miss any of the show, subscribe to the Best of the Adam Gold Show podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. But also another great way to follow the show, to interact with the show, and not miss anything from this show is if you go to YouTube go to 99.9 The Fan's YouTube page, 99.9 The Fan, or search The Adam Gold Show, and you can find the Adam Gold Show right there. Full live stream, weekdays, noon to 3. There's podcasts, video clips that are built in there. You can go back and listen to stuff if you missed anything. So it's all right there for you. The 99.9 The Fan in Raleigh being the flagship station of the Adam Gold Show. Also, you can download the 99.9 The Fan app on your phone. Apple Store, Google Play, you name it. It's all right there. It's available for you. And it's free. Leave a nice little 5-star review. But it's free. You can access our YouTube page and stuff from there. Different show content. A bunch of different stuff that's all incorporated in there on the 99.9 The Fan app. All accessible for you. And one thing that we like to do, which, by the way, Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon, Victoria Vodenecker producing the show. One thing we like to have is you, the listener, interact with us. Not only if we're out and about in person interacting with us, but in our comment section, being part of that community. We want you all to interact with us. If you have questions, you have thoughts, you have ideas, if you have disagreements, that's okay. We invite that. And we also invite something that we like to call, Victoria, one-timers.
Yes, we do. And to kick things off today,
All right.
we have NC Citizen. So, what are your thoughts on so many breakaways, and what aren't we doing to minimize theirs?
It's kind of mind-boggling that this Carolina Hurricanes team has given up as many breakaways as they have.
I know, they make me
It
nervous.
really is.
All of
and
them.
trust me, they're all thinking the exact same thing as we are.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know.
Can we not?
I think it's just... I honestly think it's such an easy cop-out answer, I guess you could say. But both these teams are just so damn good. And I think also as well, the guys that are getting out there on breakaways, like we saw Mark Stone yesterday, those guys just know how to lurk into like soft space. You know, they just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to sit here and float to the side. Oh, there's a substitution going on. I'm just going to kind of float right over here. Hey, here I am. I'm open. Boom, go. And some of the, like in game 2, for example, a couple of like the breakaway one-on-one goals that we saw were literally just like these flipping the puck out of the zone deep and just trusting your guy to go win a one-on-one puck battle.
Right.
Which is what we saw from Brett Howden in game number 2. I'm just going to go out-muscle Sean Walker at the blue line, though he may have held with Sean Walker's stick.
Mm-hmm.
But out-muscle him at the blue line and then also get in position and kind of out-muscle Jacob Slavin as well. So it's just, hey, just go trusting your guys to go win one-on-one battles. It's a big, heavy, physical team that also can skate, too. Like, they're built for this type of hockey. They're built for this type of, for the postseason, that is. I think it's a byproduct of just two really, really good teams going at it. And there also have been some uncharacteristic defensive breakdowns that, honestly, if I could explain it, Rob Brindamore would have explained it to them, too. Trust me.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just a little out of character.
True. Very true. Well, William, I would love to see this one happen, but stall for Conn Smythe?
Interesting you bring that up. So I actually got the betting odds.
Yeah.
From our boss, Paul Eihender, our program director. So Jordan Staal last night. By the way, the betting favorite for the Conn Smythe is still Mitch Marner, which makes perfect sense. If Vegas wins this thing, he's going to get the Conn Smythe.
1,000,000,000%.
Unless Brett Howden has like hat tricks in each of the next like 3 games.
Right.
But Jordan Staal going into last night, the betting odds for him to win the Conn Smythe were 175 to 1. So basically, if you were to bet $1 on Jordan Staal to win the Conn Smythe, you would have won 175.
Wow.
Those odds after last night are down to 6 to 1.
Of course.
So it went from 175 to 1 to 6 to 1. Hey, $1 bet would still win you $6 if he wins the Conn Smythe.
Right.
It ain't 175.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was actually thinking about this a little bit last night. Now, if he continues to score like he has been, like every game in the Cup final, and the Canes win this thing, then yeah, I could see it 100% justified. Let's also not forget, I know we got 2 minutes left here, Victoria. Let's not forget that he set the tone for the playoffs with that fight against Brady Tkachuk.
I know.
And it set the tone for this playoff run.
What a backfire for Brady, too.
Right. Didn't see that coming.
No.
But he set the tone in that regard, and he's scored big goals this postseason for the team. And he does it at every single phase. And I think also as well as you look at, like, you're shutting down Nick Suzuki, you're shutting down Tim Stützle, you're shutting down Trevor Zegras, whoever the top center is out there in Philly. And Jack Eichel hasn't scored yet either in this series.
No, he's been real quiet.
So keep that in mind too. So I don't hate it. I genuinely don't. I think it's a real question about who it can be. Logan Stankoven keeps scoring. It might be Stankoven, like for real.
Everybody's doing the stanky leg.
I know.
So I know this is kind of just kind of the vibe that I'm picking up with some of our YouTube comments.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people asking if Slavin is injured because of his performance lately. So your thoughts?
He might be. I mean, all these guys are dealing with something. He didn't look great in the first period. Second period was kind of eh. Third period, he looked like himself. But I think it's also a byproduct, again, of who you're playing. It's a tough, heavy, physical team. And again, Jacob Slavin dealt with that lower body injury pretty much most of the season. And it took him a little bit of time to kind of get back into form. He's probably been dealing with it all year. Because, again, he missed basically the first half of the season. So, yeah, he probably is dealing with something. But the man's fighting through it. You just need to win 2 of the next 3. That's all you need. We'll revisit this Canes game from last night. I know we're all exhausted, but we're feeling good.
His Zamboni is bigger than yours. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hi, it's Adam Gold from my friend Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary. Timing is everything, but should it be? Now, maybe it's great when you meet your significant other. You just happen to be passing each other on opposite sides of the street, and your eyes meet, and boom, fireworks. But it shouldn't be that way with a mortgage. So let's say you want to buy a house right now and you don't like the rate. Don't worry about it. The rate will come down, so you go to Miller Lending, home of the original no closing cost mortgage, and you save thousands of dollars by not paying closing costs. Then when the rates come down, you lower your monthly payment free of charge. Now you're paying the same rate, or maybe even less, and you have never paid closing costs, just like me. Miller Lending on Kildare Farm Road in Cary since 1996. MillerLending.com online. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 250-2146.
Bull riding contest. I'm signing up.
You've never ridden a bull.
No, but I won playing a new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-off, and I'm on a roll.
But they're loaded with $50, $100, and $200 prizes.
Oh, I'm riding the Widowmaker.
Go for the win with new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-offs and digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.72 to 4.75. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Experience legendary craftsmanship with an Omega timepiece. From the iconic Speedmaster that journeyed to the moon to the sleek Seamaster made famous by the world's most stylish spy, Omega watches are built for precision, adventure, and timeless elegance. At Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District, explore a curated selection of Omega timepieces that speak to your legacy. Whether you're starting a collection or adding your next chapter, find your perfect fit at Bailey's, voted best jeweler. Visit BaileyBox.com to learn more.
Looking for the ultimate playoff hockey headquarters? Head to Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex, your official member of the Canes Bar Network. Catch every playoff game with the sound on, ice cold drink specials flowing, and all the action bigger than ever on our massive 16-foot video wall. And when the final horn sounds, the deals keep coming with late night happy hour appetizers after 9 p.m. Playoff hockey, great food, cold drinks. Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex for playoff atmosphere where Canes fans gather to cheer louder.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good friends, give me a
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Mountain Dew products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsors Wake Orthopedics, First Carolina Bank, and Smith Douglas Homes. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
Today, we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Dylan.
I actually used to manage a parts department for a car dealership, and we would get stuff from Rock Auto if I couldn't get it from my dealership suppliers. You pick the year, you go through all the drop-down menus, and it just makes it really easy to navigate and see what you want. Like a wheel bearing, for instance, for a Corvair that I have. Rock Auto's catalog made it really easy to find that specific one that I was looking for.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
Turning with it's Theodore. Theodore shot through traffic. Bussi gets a piece. Loose puck. Still to the side of the net of Bussi. A chance to clear. It bounces out, and it's going into the empty net. Bingo! Carolina has gone up. Nikolai Ehlers is the one who gets the bounce with 54.8, and it's 5-3 Carolina. Yes, Trip Tracy, there is an empty net goal in Vegas.
You know, last night was the first time this Stanley Cup final that the final score wasn't a one-goal game. First time.
That's crazy to think, too.
There's some interesting numbers with this series.
They're only scoring like 79 goals a game, so to be that close, like,
You know, I want to say the magic number is 3 for Carolina. The magic number in this series is 3 for the Canes. Because when they give up 3 goals, they win.
Yeah.
When they give up more than 3, they lose.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've scored at least 4 goals in every game this series. At least 4. Because why not? They've gone 6 straight games where they've scored 4 goals or more.
Mm-hmm.
6 straight games with 4 goals or more.
Yeah. And it's even harder to believe that Jarvi, Aho, Svech may or may not be included in those 4 goals any given game.
Well, Jarvis is a game winner.
Yes.
Jarvis is a game winner in overtime. And Andrei Svechnikov, we'll discuss his struggles a little bit later on in the show. But he does have a goal that forced overtime in game number 3.
Mm-hmm.
He does. Power play goal. Which, by the way, power plays, believe it or not, has been scoring. Shh, don't tell them.
Right.
They're on a flight back right now. Shh, don't tell them.
Right.
It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vonecker producing the show, as always, this afternoon. 5-3 Carolina Hurricanes win last night, evening the Stanley Cup final 2-2. And I said this earlier. I'm going to say it again because I'm repeating something that I said the other day, and I'm going to say it again for emphasis. After they lost game 1, I even felt this way before game 1, but especially after they lost game 1. I said, if they get a win in game 2 at home, if they split at home, and if they just get a split in Vegas, and you come back to Carolina, even series, 2-2. It's basically a 3-game series. You give 2 of those 3 games at home. I said, Canes are winning this damn thing. They really are. They're winning this damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
They've done something this postseason, in my eyes, that has been so different than other years. I remember Eric Tulsky, the general manager of the team, had talked about that in past postseasons. They felt like if they could play their game and their top guys were playing at their best, that they felt like they could win, that they had a chance to really win. And that's true. It's true. Then you got to the Eastern Conference Final last year. You got it there in 2023. I know they dealt with some injuries and so on, but everything had to go right for them. But this year, their ability to adapt and adjust their style of play to whatever was needed and necessary to win is telling about how mature this team is and how also just the quality and how well built this roster is as a whole, top to bottom. They don't have the superstar guy like a Mitch Marner. They don't have the superstar guy like Jack Eichel. These guys are studs.
Oh,
anytime Marner gets the puck, I'm like, I tense up. I get that lemon booty. I'm like,
right, start holding my breath.
I know. I'm like, even when Vegas is shorthanded, he's out there. I'm like,
I still don't like it. Nope.
Don't like this. Like, can we get him off the ice, please?
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I go back to this conversation I had with Rod Brindamore before the playoffs even started. I talked to him before. I had a one-on-one conversation with him the day before Game 1 against Ottawa. I had this conversation with him, and I asked him about, we were having a conversation about how this Carolina Hurricanes team has the ability to score on the rush. You have guys like Nikolai Ehlers with the speed that he brings, also the speed and pace which guys like Logan Stankoven and Jackson Blake, and obviously we know what Jarvis and Aho and those guys can do in their skating ability, but having the speed throughout their lineup, but also having the ability, if needed, to play a heavy physical style play if it was needed. I asked Rod about being able to do multiple things as a team, and here's what he had to say.
That's what I love about the group is it doesn't matter what the game is. I mean, if we got to win 6-5, we can clearly do that, and then if it's need to grind one out, I mean, we know we have the guys to do that. So I think that's where we maybe changed a little bit in past years, and we obviously in the playoffs it's usually people think it's a little more of a grinded out kind of game, but to have that element if it does kind of go a little sideways and we can score goals, I think that just knowing that is a good thing.
What did we see the very first game against Ottawa? 2-0. We saw 2-1. We've seen 3-2. We've seen 2-1. We've seen these low-scoring games. The only time we really actually saw them actually score at a high volume, we had a couple empty netters and things like that mixed in there. But otherwise, it's been relatively low scoring. Tight checking, Carolina suffocating defensively. Just go back to the series, exception of Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final, where they didn't allow Montreal to do jack squat. Then now you get into this series where defense optional. Goaltending optional, feels like. There have been at least 7 goals scored in every game of this Cup final. You know what Carolina's been doing? They've adapted. Oh, fine. We want to play this high-scoring game? We're going to be right there step for step with you. And that's why we're tied 2-2 going into the Game 5 tomorrow. 2-2 going into Game 5 with 2 games at home. Their ability, again, to adapt, and also the scoring coming throughout the lineup. Eric Robinson scoring in stretches. The fourth line generating scoring chances as a whole, but Eric Robinson's generating scoring chances at different points this postseason. This whole damn postseason, we talked about Jackson Blake, Logan Stankoven, and Taylor Hall, how hot they were to start the playoffs. Then they stayed hot. Oh, then they kept scoring, and they're back scoring again. We've all seen it. Other teams see it. We talk about it, Victoria. The national media sees it. Other teams see it. Yet they're still doing it. And you haven't stopped them yet. Oh, and then by the way, your captain, Jordan Staal, who had a career, I don't know if it's a career resurgence, but had a goal scoring surge this season, putting up 20 goals. Oh, he just happens to have 5 goals in 4 games in the Stanley Cup final, including the game winner last night, as he blows a tire falling down on his stomach. It's their ability to not only score on the rush, to play fast, but look where, with the exception of the empty netter, the first 4 goals that were scored last night, where did they all come on the ice? Every single one of those goals were within basically a stick's length of the crease. As Jordan Staal talked about last night, again, getting to the net front. His first goal on a power play, he's screening Carter Hart. He's parked his big body right in front of him. There's a rebound that pops right there, and he's on top of it. He's the first one on it. On the goal that ends up being the game-winning goal, he pressures Shea Theodore. Puck hits off his skate, goes right to Seth Jarvis. Carter Hart makes a great save point blank on him. And you know what? Seth Jarvis stuck with it and got to it first. Got to the puck when there were 4 Vegas guys around him. He still fought for the puck. And you know what it did? He got the bounce. The puck pops right to Nikolai Ehlers, who gets it over to Jordan Staal. Wasn't clean, wasn't pretty, but he's able to get enough of it. He misses it the first time because, again, blows a tire. Still gets a backhand on it. He's able to chip it past Carter Hart. Getting to the front of the net. And that's what exactly Staal talked about last night, getting to the front of the net.
Yeah, I've been telling the guys to get to the hoop for I don't know how long, years. So good things happen around there. And, especially the way they play, there's opportunity to get there, and you just need a bounce. And, a power play goal, I think went off of 4 different guys and just kind of sat there for me. So you got to be there, and I think we can still do a better job of that and get in front of his eyes and get in the net and finding ways to just get bounces and creating chaos. And that's been our MO for a long time. And, it's working for me, and the guys got to keep doing that.
You earn your bounces. You earn your luck. That's what I said after Game 3 about Vegas. Getting the puck to the front of the net, you earned your bounce. You earned your luck. Vegas got 2 goals in game number 3 that went off of Carolina Hurricanes players and resulted in a win. You earned the luck. You earned the bounce. Go for the very opening goal of the game last night, just over a minute in. You win a face-off, Stankoven. Jackson Blake gets the puck back to Jalen Chatfield, who shoots the puck towards the net. It goes wide, and guess what? You get a lively bounce. Sounds very similar to the Shea Theodore overtime winner. Get a lively bounce. Puck pops in front. Guess who's going to the front of the net? Well, it's Logan Stankoven, the smallest guy on the ice. He cashes in to make it 1-0. It's his 12th goal this postseason? It's insane. Oh, and Jackson Blake right there off the side of the net as well by Taylor Hall, making a hard play, direct play to the blue paint for the second goal of the game. That stuff matters, getting to the front of the net. And the captain, it's Jordan Staal. It's his lead by example, not just what he does off the ice in terms of his work ethic and all those kinds of things and how he takes care of his guys off the ice, but how he plays and doing all the dirty work as a player, as a captain, that sets the example for everyone else on the ice. Even for a player like Nikolai Ehlers, Victoria.
Yeah.
Even for a player like Nikolai Ehlers, who's not a big guy.
Right.
He's not a big guy. He's like 6 foot. He's slightly taller than me. I'm 5'10". He's slightly taller than me. And he's listed, I think, at like 168 pounds.
Right.
That's, honestly, looking at him, it's about right.
Yeah.
It's about right. But you know what he's not afraid to do? He's still not afraid to fight for the middle of the ice.
Nope.
Because that's where his captain goes. That's where Jordan Martin looked, the heartbeat of the team. Like, that's where he goes. He does the dirty work in the corners. He does all those things. Gosh, we saw him kill like 90 seconds of a power play in the second period.
Yeah.
With a broken stick.
Seriously, yeah.
I was like, oh, there's a long change as well. And he's out there like, I'm laying my body trying to get in the passing lane, trying to get in the shooting lane, whatever it is.
Didn't skip a beat.
No. That was nerve-wracking 90 seconds, by the way.
Very.
Ugh.
Very.
But it's the captain doing every little thing. You heard the guys talk about it in the locker room. Logan Stankoven talked about it yesterday in the locker room. Nikolai Ehlers talked about it in the locker room yesterday as well, about he sets the example for everyone because he does all the details the right way. He does all the small stuff the right way. And anything you ask him to do, he's there doing it. He's there doing it. Don't worry, folks. We're going to have the Brandon Bussi conversation, too. We're going to have that Brandon Bussi conversation coming up a little bit later on in the show. And why you got to go back to him in game number 5.
All on the bus.
Oh, yeah. That save on Jack Eichel.
Oh, huge.
Oh, 7 minutes and 40 seconds
huge.
left. That save on Jack Eichel by Brandon Bussi. Oh.
Eichel was set up perfectly,
Oh, it's
though.
beautiful.
I mean, not many goalies could stop something like He was set up, and Bussi was like, nope.
The captain, Jordan Staal, has 5 goals. 5.
Yeah. After having 20 in the regular season.
I know.
Literally.
You need that defensive zone draw? I got you, boss.
Yeah.
I got you. Does everything.
It's crazy.
Does everything. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vodenecker producing the show. As always, we've talked a lot of puck so far today. We have. Let's not forget, Victoria, that in like a month, Panthers training camp starts.
The other team that gives me anxiety.
Perfect.
Yes.
The perfect transition. You want to go from one anxious moment to another?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go to mandatory minicamp. On the other side in 4 minutes, we're going to talk about a man that is plugged in and knows as much about the Carolina Panthers organization as anyone out there covering the team right now. Mike Kaye of the Charlotte Observer joins us to give us insight in terms of who's going to beat out who in terms of the wide receiver room. We'll have that conversation and more next.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
In Rod Brindamore's pre-training camp speech to the team, which was revealed he was mic'd up, he talked about the different races, the training camp race, the marathon regular season race, the postseason race. Well, the Canes are down to their last sprint. Everything they have, nothing left in the tank, no ammunition saved. It's the Stanley Cup final, and I can't wait.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
It's one of my favorite times of the year. The NHL playoffs are going on. Flowers are blooming. The weather is getting warmer. And that means it's time to break the motorcycle out. I'm Victoria Vodenecker here for Law Tigers, who are also people with a passion for the open road and the freedom that comes along with riding. There's really nothing like it. And once you've experienced it, it hooks you in and you're always thinking about that next adventure. But with great fun, sometimes come big risks. And I've known people who've been in motorcycle wrecks, but they know to call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before calling their insurance company. Law Tigers just celebrated 25 years in the business and has helped thousands of people, so they understand what you're going through. They're riders too, so they know the value of your bike, your gear, and the investments you've put into it. Your case evaluations are always free, and they don't get paid until your case is settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payment, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
This is Adam Gold.
Well, if I'm watching the Panthers game and it's going real bad, many times it does.
I punish them by not watching
I'm
them.
a disappointed mother.
Yeah.
Like, what are you what are you doing? So, yeah, I realize it's not going to change the game, but it makes me feel better. And,
There were other factors at play there, but for the most part, I punish them. I will not watch you.
The Adam Gold Show.
Even though we have a Stanley Cup final run going on here in Raleigh, here in the state of North Carolina with the Carolina Hurricanes, that doesn't mean we completely ignore what's going on down in Charlotte with the Carolina Panthers, as mandatory minicamp is taking place. Started yesterday, it runs all the way through tomorrow. So to join us and give us the latest on Panthers training camp and the Panthers offseason, we turn it to our trusted friend Mike Kaye of the Charlotte Observer, joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. All right, Mike, the question that a lot of people have, thank you again for your time. The question a lot of people have, Chris Brazzell, Xavier Legette, who's going to be that number 3 wide receiver? What have you seen from these two guys here during the offseason?
Well, I think Chris Brazzell looked pretty good, especially playing the X position with Tetro McMillan sidelined with foot soreness. But I don't think that'll be his role moving forward. They want T-Mac to take on press because he can beat it. He's proven that he's willing to do that and succeed. So I think what you're looking at is Brazzell's a guy who can kind of play everywhere, and that might help him, but it also might hurt him in that Legette might be a better shift move guy at the Z position. And Legette looks fast. He looks like he's catching the ball confidently. But we've only been out there for 3 workouts, so it's kind of hard to put like a bullseye on who's getting that job right now.
What role do you see for Brazzell possibly carving out for himself? Like you said, he's filling in for Tetro McMillan, dealing with the foot soreness and all that. What is an ideal role, do you think, for Brazzell, this 3rd-round pick?
Well, this offense has its roots in the West Coast, so you want a guy who can be able to take the top off defense. You want a guy who can run go routes and post routes and be able to open things up underneath for the run game, for the slot receivers, for the tight ends. And I think that's what you're going to look at with Brazzell. Like, I wouldn't have heavy expectations with numbers. Like, if he has, let's say, like 37 catches for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns, I think they would view that as a huge success for this rookie season.
Mike Kaye, the Charlotte Observer, joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Speaking of this wide receiver position, obviously we know that T-Mac and Jalen Coker, those guys are 1-2. Then you have Legette and Brazzell, it feels like. But then after that, there's a lot of congestion for probably maybe 2 spots, potentially 3. We know how much Dave Canales values David Moore and Bryce and Tremaine with what they could do as special teams. You have a young guy like Jimmy Horn Jr., even though he's undersized, we know the quickness and speed that he brings. Oh, you just happened to sign John Mechie this offseason as well, who just happened to have a great time in Alabama playing with Bryce Young. Someone's going to get left out of the mix. Do you see a potential that Dave Canales and Dan Morgan potentially keep 7 wide receivers on this roster, or do you think it gets trimmed down to 6?
Well, they've kept 7 on the 53-man roster after initial cuts each of the last 2 years, so I expect them to follow suit this year because there hasn't really been any reason to defer from that 7-receiver mix. I think you look at Legette, T-Mac, Brazzell, and Coker as your base, and then, like you said, there are probably like 6 guys competing for 3 spots. And I know a lot of people are kind of over the whole Dave Moore thing, but David Moore's out producing pretty much everybody outside of Jalen Coker and OTAs right now. He can play all 3 positions. He's versatile. And as I said on the Processing Blue podcast this morning, he's a guy that is your get out of depth issues free card for this team. He should not be a starter. He shouldn't be on the top 4 wide receivers in the group. But if one of those guys goes down, you know you can insert David Moore and not worry about inexperience or a lack of knowledge of the system or a lack of playmaking ability. You know exactly what he is. And I think every wide receiver group, really every position, needs a guy who is a utility backup. You know, you talk about super utility players in baseball, you want a guy who can play both corner outfield spots and a couple of infield spots. That's who David Moore is as a wide receiver. He can play X, he can play Z, he can play Y. And to me, that's more valuable than maybe waiting on the upside of someone like Jimmy Horn Jr., who they kind of had to, like, find a role for. I think Jimmy Horn being on the field kind of takes away from the traits that Trevor Etienne has as a movement player, kind of a gadget guy. So there's that too, and I think they feel pretty good about Trevor Etienne right now. So Jimmy Horn is going to be on the bubble. John Mechie, I haven't necessarily been impressed by. Like, obviously he's new to the offense, but he basically looks like every other guy out there that's competing for a job. A guy to watch, though, Jasim Reed. He is a guy that impressed a lot of people last year on the practice squad, and he is a guy that I think could sneak into the Bryson Tremaine territory this offseason.
That's an interesting note there, Jasim Reed. That's like you mentioned, Bryson Tremaine for a lot of Panthers fans kind of came out of nowhere last year, and Dave Canales was gassing him up a little bit. And we're like, we don't know who this guy is, and sure enough, he makes the team and carves himself out a role. We know that Dan Morgan and Dave Canales like to potentially find guys that are maybe diamonds in the rough and fill a role. Mike Kaye, the Charlotte Observer, joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Let's actually switch over to the other side of the ball. So there's something that you posted yesterday on X, which, by the way, if you don't follow Mike Kaye, the Charlotte Observer, either A, follow his work at the Charlotte Observer, or follow his content he posts on X. Phenomenal stuff if you want any Carolina Panther insight. There's something you posted yesterday that really caught my attention. That was Shaw Smith-Wade actually getting work with the safety group. Now, he's been primarily playing as a nickel corner the last 2 years since being a fifth-round pick out of Washington State. But him playing with the safeties a little bit, do you think that's just kind of is this a temporary thing just to kind of see how things work out, or is this might be a permanent switch for Shaw Smith-Wade?
Well, I knew you do a lot of film work, but if you look back after he kind of lost the starting nickel job for a couple of weeks to Corey Thornton, there were opportunities for him to play safety quite a bit. And he kind of mixed and matched in there when they had the big nickel package. It allowed Trevon Merrick to play the nickel position or move into dime linebacker. It allowed him to get two pretty big coverage assets in Nick Scott and Shaw Smith-Wade out there as well with, like, deep passes. He's a guy that has experience. He's probably one of the better studiers and X's and O's guys behind the scenes. Dave Canales called him cerebral yesterday. He's a guy that never played the nickel corner position in college, and then all of a sudden he's the starter down the stretch at nickel his rookie year. So while I don't think he's particularly adequate as a starting talent at nickel, or at least a favorite to start at nickel this year, I think if you were to make him the insurance for somebody like Nick Scott, who has a similar build, which, by the way, is not what Ejiro Evero typically subscribes to, or Dan Morgan, I think you feel good about that just because of his deep coverage. He's got a lot of experience as an outside corner. Obviously, the nickel position he can play. And Corey Thornton seems to be the favorite to win the nickel job just based on everything we're seeing and hearing from Dave Canales.
I remember last year when I remember correctly, Trayvon Merrick was suspended. We saw Lathan Ransom fill in his role, and we saw Shaw Smith-Wade filling in Lathan Ransom's role. Right. So we have seen him play in that deep safety spot a little bit before, but that versatility is a good thing to have when there's so few spots on the roster. Is there anyone out there, I know you mentioned Jasim Reed on the offensive side at wide receiver that could potentially earn himself a roster spot. Whom among the defenders, the guys that play on the defensive side of the ball, potentially that we may not know about that could potentially steal a roster spot?
Well, you know about him because of where he's from, but Aaron Hall is having himself a really nice OTA session. He's one of those guys that, like Corey Thornton, I was told before they even got to Carolina, he was a guy to look out for by people internally. And he's a guy that fits absolutely perfectly in Turk Wharton's role as an get upfield 3 technique or a 5 technique or a 4-eye. He's a guy that can be mixed and matched around. He's probably not going to get you good sack numbers, but he'll get you plenty of pressure and he'll collapse the pocket. Just seems like a really sharp guy. We had him on the Processing Blue podcast like right after he agreed to sign. Just a sharp kid. Grew up a Panthers fan and Packers, oddly enough.
Huh.
And he's a guy that, football's his blood. His dad played in college. He's a guy that makes sense from a technique standpoint. There's Devontae Smith. No, not the number one wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles, but the nickel corner. He played at Alabama with Bryce Young, then transferred to Notre Dame's final year of college. He's a guy that has looked pretty good. I think he's right on the outside of the roster mix right now, but he's somebody to watch. And then I think Kaye Wheatley is a guy who's gotten a lot of press for a fifth-round pick. A lot of people think he was overdrafted. Based on my conversations with scouts, that's not the case. And I think we're building him up a lot, but he has had some pretty nice days with second-team defense over the last few weeks.
Mike Kaye, the Charlotte Observer. By the way, Aaron Hall, I was anticipating you saying that name. I know a lot of people were.
Oh, I know you were.
Yeah, I know a lot of people around here. We were mentioning Aaron Hall about potential undrafted free agent that could make this team, and then with the Turk Wharton injury, like you mentioned, it seems like he's the right fit. A final question here for Mike Kaye, the Charlotte Observer. Thank you again for your time. Really do appreciate it.
Of course.
When we look at this Panthers roster and from what you see right now, from how this core group's been together for a couple of years, what have you noticed in terms of difference of culture from when Dave Canales first took over back at the beginning of the 2024 season to what you see right now? What have you seen difference just from the group of guys that are out there in the field and just how things operate?
It's funny. The best gifts that Matt Rule gave this organization were okaying drafting Derek Brown, Tommy Trumbull, and Chuba Hubbard, because really those guys have been the culture guys. J.C. Horn to an extent as well, but those guys are the Lippins. I don't know that Dave Canales makes it through year one to year two without the way Chuba Hubbard handled the offense and the leadership behind the scenes, with Bryce getting benched and then Miles Sanders falling apart and all this other stuff. And I just think they've set the tone, and then they brought in guys who are good dudes. It's not just the guy who had been there, who had seen the worst of this franchise. It's guys who look at this franchise as an opportunity to better themselves, have bigger roles, and have a lot more stake in stuff like Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis and Trevon Merrick. I think Devin Lloyd and Jalen Phillips are really good people, and they're good guys to add to the mix. I just think overall they've added guys that they're winning with the person as well as the talent.
I know Panthers fans love hearing that. I know a lot of Carolina Hurricanes fans across the state of North Carolina talk about Carolina culture when it comes to the Canes, and I think we're seeing a lot of that building in with the Carolina Panthers as well. Mike Kaye, Charlotte Observer, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the day. Stay cool out there during these OTAs and these mini camps. Big thanks to Mike Kaye, the Charlotte Observer, joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria, I know we've talked about it before. You and I have, at least in the hallways of where we work, about, and I know I've talked about it with other people on different shows and stuff. I actually host a Panthers podcast called Panthers Playbook, myself and Chris Lee from WREL TV in Raleigh. Some people might remember him, depending on where you're listening right now, from his time out there in Greensboro, WXII. But he and I host a Panthers podcast together called Panthers Playbook, and we had the conversation, Victoria, just this past week about how the culture of the Carolina Hurricanes and how they've been able to build this roster and build their team, but also, again, having the right people in place to get to where they are to compete for a championship, but how it feels like the Carolina Panthers are taking a lot of those similar steps in terms of getting good young talent to come in, drafting well, and also the free agents that you bring in are the ones that fit well into your roster. But also, again, Victoria, the right people. And we saw it last year, how much that's paying dividends for this team. And Victoria, feels like it's going to pay dividends even more moving forward.
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like this Panthers team, it still has a ways to go. I still think they're a couple years away from truly being like a true Super Bowl contender. They still have to figure out if Bryce Young is going to be the guy. That's obviously a conversation for another time. But they have to figure out a couple of roster things as well. financially, can you make some of this stuff work out? Because the economics in football or hockey are so different. The development of players is vastly different as well. And in the NHL, you draft players when they're 18 years old, but they might play in juniors for a couple of years up in Canada or even the United States. They could play college hockey. Then you get them into your minor league system. So you have time to build and develop players. In the NFL, they're either on your 53-man, you try and sneak them on the practice squad, that's about it. And also the whole thing, with, void years on contracts and all that. It's so, the economics and stuff are a lot different. But the principal philosophy of getting the right people in the room, along with the talent, it's a lot easier said than done. But right now it feels like, again, from when I walked into the locker room covering the Panthers last year, late in the season, in 2025, compared to what it was in early 2024, it's night and day. It's night and day. And I say that in a good way. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria. Carolina Hurricanes are tied 2-2 in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, they are.
They're tied 2 after a 5-3 win last night. Let's go.
I love it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm tired. I'm tired. I know Canes fans like, golly, like this is, these games are exhausting.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
It is. Like, can we just have a nice, comfortable, 4-1 win? Right.
Isn't it sad? Yeah, you can't even go up 4 goals and not be comfortable.
Right? Not that. Honestly, they might be up 4-1 with 10 seconds left. I'm like,
wait a second. There's still time on the clock.
Exactly. I don't know. But I'm like, can we just have a nice, comfortable 4-1 win where they only allow 15 shots on goal or anything? Like, can we just have that?
That'd be nice.
It'd be awesome. But I'm willing to lose sleep for a cup. And Victoria, something that you and I like to do anytime that you and I are on this show together here on the Adam Gold Show, we like to do a fun thing called blind ranking. Victoria, let's fire up the music. So the way a blind ranking works, you'll pick up on it pretty quickly. So Victoria is going to give me the names of 5 players in the Stanley Cup final. 5 players. All right? Could be either from the Vegas Golden Knights, could also be from the Carolina Hurricanes. Just 5 players, and I have to rank them about how impactful they've been this series. We're looking at this series specifically. Their impact. 1 being the highest or most impactful, 5 being the least. But here's the thing. It's a blind ranking. I don't know what name Victoria is going to give me, and I have to just slot them in 1 through 5, and I can't move.
Yeah.
Can't adjust anybody. If I lock someone in at number 3, they're there. That's the way a blind ranking works.
Mm-hmm.
So, Victoria, who's the first name on our blind ranking?
Okay, we've talked about him a little bit today.
Okay.
And it's someone that I kind of hate we have to go up against.
Uh-oh.
He was a thorn in our side, or has been, at least thus far. All right, Mark Stone.
Mark Stone. Oh.
I know. I know.
This is painful because he's up there.
Yeah.
But I also feel like there's a couple other guys I could easily put ahead of Mark Stone.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. Man, he's dealt with injuries and stuff, but you want to talk about a dude that just knows how to get it done.
He does.
I mean, his name's on the cup for a reason. He's a captain of that team for a reason. He's part of Team Canada for a reason. Like, he's just that good.
Got a lot of grit.
Yeah, he does. And he can play, like, he kills penalties, too. Like, he can score. You do all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Check. You do I generally have the rule of not going number 3 to start a blind ranking, and I'm going to break my own rule. I'm going to put Mark Stone at number 3, and I hate it already. I already hate it.
Yeah.
I already hate it, Victoria.
Okay, well, I feel you. It's fine. Well, maybe it'll work out, though, for us.
It might. All right, who's next?
Okay, so next is another guy who's kind of been one of those, I don't want to say unsung heroes, but he's been in the background a lot lately for us Canes. Keandre Miller.
Okay, so again, we're looking at strictly the Stanley Cup final.
Yes.
Okay, postseason as a whole,
yes,
he'd be up there. But looking at strictly the Stanley Cup final, I know he had a penalty that he took last night. That shot by Brett Howden that went through his legs was unbelievable. He's been good. You could tell he's been dealing with injury because I remember they actually showed in Game 3 him kind of doing some exercises to kind of work his hip flexor
Right.
and lower back and stuff, it looked like. So I'm going to put Keandre Miller at number 4.
Okay.
I can't justify him, at least so far in this series, of putting him above Mark Stone. I just can't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so I got Mark Stone, Vegas Golden Knights at number 3.
Mhm.
I've got Keandre Miller at number 4. So 1, 2, and 5 are available. I don't like this at all. I do not like where this is going.
Okay, so we couldn't have a blind ranking without me throwing this guy out there because he's got that dog in him. It might be a little dog, but he got that dog in him. Stankoven.
Oh, okay. All right, this is tough. Damn it. This actually could work out quite well. This could work out amazingly.
Okay.
I'm going to put number 2 for Logan Stankoven. Because here's the thing about Logan Stankoven. We actually haven't pointed this out yet. He has scored twice in this series.
Mm-hmm.
And each goal he has scored has been the first goal in a Canes win. So when he scores, he's opening the scoring and the Canes are winning.
Oh, I see.
So I'm going to put Logan Stankoven at number 2, which I'm going to bookend myself with 1 and 5 available here. But I'm going to go Stanky at number 2.
There you go.
Because let's be honest, in that Game 2 comeback, under 10 minutes to play, and he just out-muscles Rasmus Anderson in Game 2 and just takes the puck away and just backhanded wraparound that goes off a guy in front. He earned it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he earned the bounce. You earned the bounce with this play. That's exactly what he did. And that was massive. And then to kick off, they needed a fast start yesterday. I don't think they could have afforded to fall behind early in that game.
No.
They could not have afforded to do it. And the fact that he scored less than a minute into the game, massive. I'm perfectly comfortable putting Logan Stankoven at number 2.
I like it. Okay, so to be fair, I have to throw out another Vegas Golden Knight.
Okay.
And I feel like Mitch Marner's too easy. Like, it's obvious that he would be in something like this. So another one that he's up there, I think, with the playmakers.
Okay.
Dorofeev.
Pavel Dorofeev. If we're doing postseason as a whole, he might be a little bit higher, but I'm perfectly comfortable putting Pavel Dorofeev at number 5 on this list. The one thing that does scare me is if he wakes up, that could be bad for Carolina. It really could be bad.
Yes.
Because he has a natural scoring ability, he really does. But that whole line of him, Eichel, Barbashev as a whole have been shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Or limited, I guess you could say. But at Dorofeev,
he's
been quiet.
Yeah,
he
can be
quiet,
a pest.
though.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a credit to Carolina shutting down that top line so far. So you gave me Mark Stone from Vegas. I put him at 3. You gave me Keandre Miller, Carolina. Put him at number 4. You gave me Logan Stankoven for the Canes. I put him at 2. Then you gave me Pavel Dorofeev. I put him at number 5, which leaves number 1 open.
Yes.
And our blind ranking of players and the impact that they have had in the Stanley Cup final goes to...
Okay, I don't think you're going to feel bad about this one because after the night he had last night, we can't not mention my captain, Eric Stahl. Or Jordan Stahl, not Eric Stahl.
Him too.
Him too.
I would put Eric number 1 as well.
Fun fact, though, about Eric Stahl, the reason I was thinking about him, because I feel like it kicked everything off with the siren sounding.
That's right.
That night really ignited Jordan, and I'm like, let's go. Okay, we need Eric in all these games.
So Jordan Stahl goes number 1 in the blind ranking. This is a perfect list.
Who hates that?
This is a perfect list.
Who hates that?
Again, we are blindly ranking players from the Stanley Cup final, both sides. The final blind ranking reads as Jordan Stahl at number 1.
Who could be our Conn Smythe.
Very well could be.
Yeah.
Number 1. Number 2, Logan Stankoven. Number 3, Mark Stone of the Vegas Golden Knights. Number 4, Keandre Miller. Number 5, Pavel Dorofeev, the winger for the Vegas Golden Knights. This is a perfect list.
Mm-hmm.
That's me patting myself on the back. That's me patting myself on the back.
That's what that is.
Damn good list. Crush that blind ranking. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Reaching around my back like that. I got a little stiff shoulders.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
know.
say,
We need to stretch, Victoria.
Yes, we do.
7th inning stretch upcoming.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Still got the NBA Finals, and new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel, best place to bet your favorite player props during the NBA Finals. Play your game any way you want, and best of all with FanDuel, you get paid instantly, cash money, or at least virtual money. FanDuel.com/local, FanDuel.com/local, and new customers, a 7-day wagering streak gets you $350 of FanDuel money. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Card 7 years in a row, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops. Our philosophy is simple: be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Electricity. It's what powers our lives, from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Across North Carolina, 26 electric cooperatives serve 2.8 million people, and we are committed to delivering reliable, affordable power. We're not for profit and are driven by service, providing the best possible value for our member owners. We're strengthening the people and communities that make our state great, today and for generations to come. Learn more at ncelectriccooperatives.com.
As the health director in Haywood County and a nurse here in North Carolina, I can tell you that the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline saves lives.
No matter your struggle, you are not alone. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is free, private, and always available.
988 Lifeline counselors are ready 24/7 to speak with you, help you cope, and get you connected to the support that is right for you.
988, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Call, text, or chat 988 24/7. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go! Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the
right seat. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Have you ever considered a career as a public power line worker? Line workers in public power communities keep the electricity flowing to families and businesses. As a public power line worker, you're part of a team that builds and maintains a locally owned and operated electric system. You can work close to home, grow your career, and support your local community by providing safe, reliable, and sustainable electricity. Learn more about public power and careers in public power at electricities.com.
This is Adam Gold.
And we're going to have Seth on the show next week when he gets back from vacation. He was by a pool.
What are you doing? Get off Twitter. It's nicer to be on Twitter when you're by a pool anyway.
No, just stop engaging with people.
The Adam Gold Show.
I could use a pool right now. It's hot out.
Yes.
Stay cool out there, people, for real. Stay hydrated. And by golly, can it rain?
I know. Maybe this weekend. I think it's in the forecast, but honestly, it's flip-flops.
Please rain.
Yeah.
Please rain.
I know. We could use that for real.
Absolutely. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold. By the way, the Carolina Hurricanes, I don't know if you heard last night, Victoria, won 5-3.
Oh, I didn't know.
They won 5-3 over the Vegas Golden Knights. The series is tied 2-2.
Yes.
So in the rigors of the postseason. By the way, the Adam Gold Show, Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold, Victoria Vodnacker producing the show. In the rigors of the postseason.
Yep.
Got a travel day today. Got to get the body ready for tomorrow because I know we're all going to be up late with this game tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Got to take care of the bodies. Got to stretch a little bit, Victoria.
Yep.
Fire away, V.
Okay, so tomorrow the World Cup starts, and this new survey is saying that people don't really care.
It's not wrong, though.
It's not.
It's not.
Not at all. So according to the new poll, it says 54. Now, I don't know who they're asking. They didn't ask me, but I could tell you where I would lie and all this stuff. 54% of Americans are not interested at all in the tournament. 54. Another 14 say they are not very interested. And then it's about 16 who say they're somewhat interested and 13 who are very interested. We know where Adam Gold would lie in that one. And
right.
yeah, almost 60% of Americans don't expect to watch any of the matches at all.
Really?
Which I'm kind of surprised at that. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm around Adam so much now that I feel like soccer has been growing faster, which I think it has been. But yeah, I was a little surprised at that number, that it was over half. But hey, I will even watch it.
Sure.
Like, I mean, not the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
I'm not gonna watch every game.
Like towards the end, I'll tune in. I may not know what's going on. I never played soccer. It's not one of my sports. But, it's the World Cup. It's kind of like the Super Bowl or the World Series. You watch things because it's the end. Should be good.
It's one of those things where the U.S. men's national team is just, they're not good.
Yeah.
At least on a competitive national, international level.
Right.
There's nothing for us to cling on to.
Yep.
It's one thing you're like, hey, this team has a chance to, be one of the final 8 teams or something like that. You never know what could happen if we get to that round. I'm not feeling that. I think also as well as that ticket sales are stupid.
Yeah.
Which is really deterring a lot of people from going. Because ticket sales are astronomically high. Now, granted, a lot of them are coming down because people aren't buying tickets. And then even the stuff around, because FIFA sucks, that the whole organization is corrupt. But the fact that the ticket sales are stupid, and then even they're limiting in terms of parking and all that kind of stuff and what people can do in terms of actually getting to venues. They're making it difficult for people to actually go watch games. So, well, guess what? I will find my time to go do something else.
Right.
I genuinely will.
Yeah.
I will say this, though, is that Germany has actually been using the facilities at Wake Forest University. The German national team is using the facilities at Wake Forest in their preparation for the World Cup, which I think is really, really cool.
Right.
That's cool for Wake Forest. But yeah, granted, I will say this though, is that for us, we're so wrapped up in hockey right now with the Canes.
Yeah, that's all.
It's taking a lot of our attention away. I mean, gosh, I barely even not giving much attention to the Panthers and minicamp right now.
Right. Or, the NBA Finals, too, which is
the NBA
tonight.
Finals, which Game 4 is tonight.
But speaking of U.S. men's not really being that great, part of this survey did talk about how 72% of U.S. soccer fans say they would bet against the U.S. Their own team if they could make money.
Cash in. Let's go.
And even North Carolina specifically is considered the most traitorous of states.
Oh, look at us. Bunch of Benedict Arnolds.
87% would betray the U.S. But Connecticut... that's
betray
what it
the
says.
U.S. by betting against them?
But Connecticut apparently is on the opposite side. They're the most faithful state. Only 50% would be... But 50%!
Just half!
Yeah.
Just half!
It's like, okay, keep your whatever. That's, yeah. But I thought it was funny that North Carolina is the one nope. Let me put my money where it's going to work.
That's funny.
You know where else we like to put our money where it works?
Making
sometimes
bets.
On our bets.
Place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal in Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me.
I owe you nothing.
All right, Apparently, I got to start betting against the U.S.
I know.
Soccer.
Exactly, because we live in North Carolina, and that's what we do here.
That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm being told to do.
But then also not care about it at the same time.
Not care about it.
Exactly.
Victoria, I will start things off here with one bet. You mentioned the NBA Finals. Spurs at Knicks tonight. Give me the Spurs actually on the money line plus 114.
Okay.
They even things up tonight. I'm going to go with it.
I was kind of thinking that too. But then part of my gut is telling me that the Knicks are going to want to actually show up tonight. So I think it would be fun. I would like the Spurs to even it up, but I feel like I'm going to go with the Knicks. And let's see. I'll do under 216.5. That's plus 210.
Okay. The U.S. is favored against Paraguay minus 110 on Friday. But apparently I'm supposed to vote against that. Or bet against that. I'm going to bet draw between USA Paraguay plus 245.
Okay. I always do an emotional bet, and I would highly discourage anyone to do this. But since I'm using units for this, I will do it. My Cubs struggle busting hard. Like, I don't know what's going on. They lost against the Rockies yesterday. So come on, Cubs. We have Shota in today, so give me my Cubbies to win, and I'm going to take the under 12. That's plus 185, please.
I'm actually going to go tomorrow night's hockey game for my next one, Victoria.
Okay.
They actually put the over-under at 6.5. Give me the over 6.5 at plus 114.
All right.
Give me the over because every game's been 7 goals or more.
I don't know.
I'll take the over.
I don't know why it's not at 9.5 at this point.
I might still take the over.
I mean, I don't know. It's weird. The Dodgers are taking on the Pirates, who are trying to have a good season. Give me the Dodgers, though. They got Ohtani in over 8.5 plus 165.
Okay, there it is. Placing our bets, trying to make some money. Got to vote against the United States in soccer.
Exactly.
Or vote against.
Apparently.
Got to bet against them. Whatever. What did Dave Canales say about Chris Brazzell? Wall of Sound coming up next on the Adam Gold Show.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoot, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Still got the NBA Finals, and new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel, best place to bet your favorite player props during the NBA Finals. Play your game any way you want, and best of all with FanDuel, you get paid instantly, cash money, or at least virtual money. FanDuel.com/local, FanDuel.com/local, and new customers, a 7-day wagering streak gets you $350 of FanDuel money. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA, 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
It's bigger than all of us now, so watching the playoffs has to be a big deal, where you gather with fellow Caniacs to cheer on our team. And the place to do that is Carolina Ale House, the official Canes road game headquarters. Join the viewing parties at Carolina Ale House for every game during the playoffs. Big screens, full audio, fired up fans, and a full homemade menu and frosty pints. Chicken wings and hockey? Oh yeah. Grab your jersey and your crew and get to Carolina Ale House for every puck drop. Find your location at carolinaalehouse.com.
This is Ray Womble Jr. from J.E. Womble & Sons in Lillington. Spring is here and lawn mowing will be in full force. Our new lineup of Bobcat zero-turn mowers are bringing tough to turf, built to give you a professional edge, engineered to last longer and work harder. Come check out the Bobcat ZT2000 series at a discount of $1,200 with 0% financing. And remember, if J.E. Wombly & Sons doesn't have it, you don't need it.
Discover the thrill of precision and elegance with Omega at Bailey's Fine Jewelry. From the depths of the ocean to the heights of space, Omega's Seamaster and Speedmaster collections are crafted for those who dare to explore. With a heritage rooted in innovation and a timeless style inspired by sports, space, and cinematic legends, Omega is the gift for every adventurer. Find your perfect watch at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District. Voted Best Jeweler. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsors Wake Orthopedics, First Carolina Bank, and Smith Douglas Homes. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
That to me is the story of the game, is that Victor Wembanyama is figuring this series out. He started getting closer to the cup, to your point. I believe his average starting point prior to this game was nearly somewhere between 15 and 17 feet. I mean, he got 3 right away, and that opened up his passing too, which allowed him to pick up 6 assists, which was a series high thus far to this point, and that allows them to be able to get other guys involved. Like, he was the hub tonight in every which way possible.
I'm not going to lie, Victoria. I've been so time consumed with the Stanley Cup final and everything.
Yeah.
That I really haven't dedicated much time to watch the NBA final. I'm like, these 8:30 tip-offs are killing me.
Oh, man.
I'm
yeah.
like, really? Y'all couldn't do like 8 o'clock like the NHL?
Right.
Same network.
Yep.
But nonetheless, I know all the Knicks fans came out of the woodworks when they made it to the conference or to the NBA final.
Big time.
They all did, and that's fine. You know what? And I have friends who I've known for years that I know that they're Knicks fans. They're super excited.
Yeah.
But we'll see about tonight. But just because of all the energy expended, obviously watching the Carolina Hurricanes games, but even post-game, like I know, Victoria, when you and I were at Game 2, like going into the post-game pressers and all that kind of stuff when it's overtime, I didn't leave the arena for Game 2 until like 1:30 in the morning is when I left the arena.
Exactly.
And then even last night, I was at the Lenovo Center doing some content with fans after the games and everything like that. And then even getting home and still posting other stuff from the locker rooms and things like that post-game.
Yeah.
It was about 1:30 by the time I went to bed last night.
I know. That's why everything's a blur.
And then Popper, my fiance and I's dog, scratching at me this morning. Hey, buddy.
You know what time
One
it
of
is.
us has got to go out right now. And it's not you, but you got to come with me.
But you can open doors.
Exactly. I need that leash. Let's go.
Need that thumb.
So anyway, that was at 6:30 this morning. I was like, all right, buddy, let's go.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just there's a lot. So I haven't really spent much time watching the NBA final. I haven't.
Which, to be fair, NBA finals, you kind of watch, like most big games, you kind of just watch the last 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, because it's going to come down to the last 5 minutes. So yeah, that's kind of what I did. I think for Game 2, that's exactly what I did, actually.
Yeah. It's just what it is. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on, obviously, in the sports world. We actually have, Victoria, obviously the Stanley Cup going on. We have the NBA Finals that are going on right now. We also have the College World Series is going to be kicking off in Omaha. Actually, I think UNC baseball actually traveled out today to head out to Omaha. Okay. So we have games that are starting on Friday. I know UNC takes on Ole Miss, if I remember correctly, on Friday is their first game. And I think they're actually, I remember as of yesterday, they were betting favorites alongside Georgia to win the whole thing. They had the same odds. So obviously those odds and stuff could have shifted a little bit here and there, but they are one of the betting, if not the betting favorite to win the whole thing is UNC. And then we have the World Cup that's starting up that, again, no one cares about, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
But also as well as, again, across the NFL, there's mandatory minicamps that are taking place, including the Carolina Panthers right now, mandatory minicamp taking place. And we have some sound bites for you from the head coach to himself, Dave Canales, on the Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
Last year, the Carolina Panthers had the Offensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL in Tetairoa McMillan, the eighth overall pick out of Arizona, over 1,000 yards, had overall as a rookie season, pretty great year, obviously pretty great year. You're the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. But he hasn't been participating in team drills. Dealing with a little bit of a foot injury. Dave Canales yesterday on T-Mac being held out of those team reps.
Yeah, just brought him back. He handled the RVAs really well, was able to run around in that period, and then, took a couple reps in team. We're just trying to work him back in. He really hasn't had the full team work right now, so but he's doing great, and he got a little bit of extra conditioning on the side in a more controlled environment to make sure he's getting his conditioning level there.
Smart. You're not going to lose a game in November because Tetairoa McMillan doesn't do a couple of team reps in June. That's how I look at it. As long as he's still staying in shape and as long as he's healthy, that's the thing that matters the most, in my opinion. But when your number one receiver isn't on the field when you're doing these team reps, well, Dave Canales, who steps up when T-Mac's not on the field?
We can always count on Demo. And, David Moore is a guy that I've known for a long time. 2017 draft class in Seattle, 7th-round pick. And, so we go way back, got a lot of trust in Demo to do different. He can really play all the positions, and so he stepped in well. And then, of course, Chris Brazel has been taking reps at X as well, and he's made some plays over the last, couple of weeks. So really excited about where he's heading with his development.
Chris Brazel. Yeah, ding, ding, ding. Dave Canales, you said the magic words, or the magic name, Chris Brazel, the 3rd-round pick out of Tennessee, which Victoria, I know a lot of Panthers fans are excited about Chris Brazel. I know I'm excited about Chris Brazel, what he could potentially bring with his size, his speed combination, his catching ability, all those kinds of things. Might he be the number 3 wide receiver, overtaking Xavier Legette? We'll see. Time will tell. Different style players. We'll actually have a conversation, or we'll rehear the conversation I had with Mike Kaye of the Charlotte Observer earlier. We'll have that conversation for you here in about 25 minutes. But Dave Canales was asked yesterday if they're having to teach guys like Chris Brazel on certain things like signals and so forth. Here's what Dave Canales had to say about Chris Brazel.
That's a part of the learning curve, yeah. And again, it's very common across the league as we get players from college with different systems, and they all have microphones in their helmet. Now, they use them different ways. Some of them use them for checks, and they still have the signs and the signals, and some of them are actually calling the plays in for guys. So there are different ways, different levels of exposure for guys. But he's been working his tail off. Keyshawn Coleman has been spending a lot of time with Chris, along with Coach Rob Moore. But he's up for the challenge, and he's done a great job so far in the last couple weeks as we've been doing our call-up periods.
One thing about sports, Victoria, because you were a swimmer, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you play on other teams, or you play basketball as well?
I did, yeah.
So every coach has different terms for different things.
They do.
Now, sometimes there are some words. I played football through my freshman year in college, but I played lacrosse through all 4 years of college. And there are some words out there and phrases that are kind of universal in a sport, and they're kind of base level stuff, but for each team, they have their own different lingo and what it can mean. So when you're learning a new system, offense, defense, whatever it might be, understanding that terminology and having to process what those words and phrases mean it takes some time.
Yeah.
It's almost
fair.
like, it is almost like learning a new language.
Absolutely.
So everyone has a different name for a position, or sometimes there's a numerical value or number assigned to a position as well, and blocking schemes and where you're running the ball. So like, for one team, what's known as like, all right, this is our 6 hole where we're running, might be inside, whereas another place it might be outside. So it just, again, it kind of is just dependent. So everyone has to kind of adjust when you're a rookie, or anybody that's going to a new team, adjusting to those types of things. So it takes time, and it can slow you down because you're having to think about it. But once you're able to not think about it,
yeah, it's muscle
that's when
memory.
you start playing faster.
Yep.
It's just everything becomes a reaction. So it takes time. When you're doing individual drills and individual reps at practice, all right, it might be like Chris Brazzell going against, Corey Thornton at practice, right? Wide receiver, defensive back. All right, you're running like this, we're going to run a fade route down the sideline. Okay, you just know that you're running a fade route down the sideline. There's no like, all right, hey, line of scrimmage, Bryce Young's sending an audible in, there's a check, whatever it is. You don't have that stuff going on. So it's a lot easier to look good one-on-one or just running routes against air because there's no defender out there. Wow, sweet post route.
Yeah.
There's no one there. You knew when you got up to the line of scrimmage, hey, you're going to run a post route. Run 10 yards up and run a post. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people can do that. But it's about what you have to do in the speed of the game. All right, it's a 2-minute drill. Whatever so there's just, it takes time. I always say with rookies, it just takes some time. The physical gifts are there. The mental part has to catch up to it. And that just, again, that comes with repetitions. Some guys pick it up faster than others. They just do. It's just like anything. It's like learning a foreign language.
100%. Yeah.
Or any other skill that you do at your own job.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it takes a minute for people to pick it up. Gosh, did your email change in terms of like the layout of your email?
Remember a password.
Exactly.
Whew.
But yeah. But like just the layout of your
Yeah.
email changes. Like we use Microsoft Teams and stuff like that. The layout changes. You're like, wait, where is this thing again? How do I access this?
Learning a new instrument, same thing.
Exactly.
Repetition helps you get it. So.
Takes some time.
Yeah.
Now, something speaking about taking time, when you're coming back from an injury, especially a severe one, it definitely takes a lot of time and patience in order to fully come back from a devastating injury. And that's exactly what Ike Ekwonu is trying to do. A torn patellar tendon in his knee that he suffered actually in the playoff last year against the LA Rams. How's his knee holding up, Dave Goss? What's the timeline on Ike Ekwonu?
I'm not going to give a specific timeline on Icky. We expect him back at some point in the season. He's crushing it week in and week out, and he's excited about it. He's the athletic trainers are excited about his progress right now. They're just continuing to progress him with different types of movement, forward movement, a little bit of lateral movement, and just continuing to see how they can push the envelope a little bit, but in a smart way. So his spirits are high. As I check in with Icky, almost daily and see him, he's got a big smile on his face. He knows the work in front of him, and he's up for the challenge.
Any snaps you get from Ike Ekwonu this season is a bonus. Now the question is, going forward, when he is able to play, where does he slot in? That's the big question. You signed Rasheed Walker this offseason. You drafted Monroe Freeling in the first round, so you have guys that can play that left tackle spot. Do you move him into guard eventually? I don't. There are questions going forward, but you'll cross that bridge eventually when you get there. But I really am curious to see what Ike Ekwonu is going to look like from a physical standpoint when he returns, and do they feel possibly that he could switch to a different position? Or if you feel like he comes back and like, hey, Ike Ekwonu's tearing it up, we could play him at left tackle. Hey, Monroe Freeling, you're kicking over to right.
Yeah.
Taylor Moton, after this season, I know we signed you to a contract extension, but again, the financials don't allow you to keep everybody.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting situation, but I think any reps that you get from Ike Ekwonu this year is pure bonus.
Yeah.
And you might not get any.
Unfortunately, very true.
A patellar tendon injury, again, that's a devastating injury.
Yeah, it is. I'm very curious to see what they do with him. I feel like ever since they've gotten him, it's been a big question mark of like, where does he fit best? And now with this new injury, it's like, well, let's see what happens now.
To be determined.
Yep.
To be determined. So that's the wall of sound from Dave Canales. That was from yesterday's OTAs. I know they're back on the practice field and stuff today. I haven't seen any updates. No one's messaged me being like, oh no, so-and-so got hurt. Which, by the way, that's the number one goal of mini camp.
Yes.
And OTAs. Don't get hurt.
Please.
That's the only thing I ask. If there's no major injury coming out of mini camps or OTAs, it was a successful mini camp or OTA. That's it.
Don't start a season coming off an
That's
injury. Recovering.
That's it.
Please.
It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vodnecker producing the show today. Victoria, we've talked a lot about the Canes so far today, but there's some small things that I want to touch on. I have some minute takes on the Carolina Hurricanes and their 5-3 win yesterday. Next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
In Rod Brindamore's pre-training camp speech to the team, which was revealed he was mic'd up, he talked about the different races, the training camp race, the marathon regular season race, the postseason race. Well, the Canes are down to their last sprint. Everything they have, nothing left in the tank, no ammunition saved. It's the Stanley Cup final, and I can't wait.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
It's finally the season for summer vacation, so why not take one on your motorcycle? I'm Victoria Vodnecker here from 99.9 The Fan for Law Tigers, and this is definitely the time where people are thinking of taking that beach trip, but going to the beach on your motorcycle just adds an extra layer of fun. There's nothing between you and the saltwater air, but there's plenty of people in a hurry getting to where they're going. And if you're ever in an accident on your motorcycle that wasn't your fault, whether you're going on vacation or just going to work, make sure to always call Law Tigers first before calling your insurance company. At Law Tigers, they understand, they get it. They're riders too, and they know the value of your bike and your gear and the investment that you've made. The insurance company just wants to pay you the least amount possible. At Law Tigers, case evaluations are always free, and you're not going to pay a dime until your case is settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade on the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. Right now, the United States is trading at about 1.5% to win the whole darn thing, which means opportunity. A $10 trade will pay out about $6,000 if they go on to win the world's soccer's biggest prize. On Kalshi, you're not just waiting for that last payout if it happens. You're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TIMD, that's TIMD, no spaces, to get $10 when you trade 10. KALSHI, Kalshi. Trade on the beautiful game. 18 plus, restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and availability markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulators.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good friends. Give me a Dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Mountain Dew products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
This is Adam Gold.
Soap attracts dirt, right? That's what soap does. It attracts dirt. Right now, Bill Belichick is soap. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's soap.
Yeah.
He's attracting all this dirt.
Or he's like an overripe banana and it's attracting all these gnats.
The Adam Gold Show.
So, Victoria, last night I was at the Lenovo Center, which is, by the way,
Amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So I really want to give Canes fans a ton of credit
Absolutely.
and a ton of love here real quick. We're going to do a little minute takes. I have some thoughts on the series so far in the game, but some small stuff that so garners a little bit of attention, but we're going to do a little thing called minute takes. 60 seconds, boom. But before we get into that, Victoria, by the way, the Adam Gold Show, Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. He's flying back from Vegas, Victoria.
Yep.
Right now. Victoria Vodenecker producing the show. So last night, I'm at the Lenovo Center. I'm at the watch party, and I'm there because I want to get reaction from fans after the game. Like literally talk to people, one-on-one or in groups after the game, either outside or in the hallway, that kind of stuff. And so I was with Tim Donnelly, who's the host of The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan in Raleigh. And we were doing our show out there from 3 to 7 p.m. actually last night at Lenovo, like we normally would do for a playoff game.
Yeah.
We've done it for all home playoff games. We've done it, during a couple points during the regular season as well. Like we're out there on the plaza right outside Lenovo Center. And it's 5:15.
Mm-hmm.
Doors don't open until aren't supposed to open until 6:30 or something like that.
Right.
And there's a line of people already in front of us.
It's amazing.
Yeah. There's people in front of us and behind us.
Yeah.
And you actually look like it's going deeper into the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the doors actually open and the lines are just getting longer and longer. There's literally an hour and a half before the game.
I love it.
Lines are 40, at each door, 40 plus people deep.
Yeah.
And they're tailgate, they sold out Lenovo Center last night.
Exactly.
For a road game.
Yeah.
For a road game. I'm let's be honest, let's call it what it is. You're going to go watch the game on a big TV is what you're doing.
Yes.
Now, granted, they did have something really, really cool last night.
Oh.
So the players, if you actually look on a player's jersey during the game, on their back right shoulder, it's something about the size of a Twix bar.
Okay.
I don't know if that's telling, but it's about that length.
Yeah.
It's on their right shoulder, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's sewn in, and it's actually a GPS. It's a tracker on their jersey. It's in their jersey.
Yes.
So that's how they track players on the ice. That's also how they track when you're watching on television when someone has the puck.
The name
you
pops
see their
up.
name pop up.
Yep.
Because there's also a little tiny tracker in the puck as well. So they know where the puck is, who's on the ice and off the ice. That's how they track, time on ice and those kinds of things. But anyway, they had all that tracking projected on the ice. So basically these large circles that had the player's number on there, and we actually had the puck, their name would pop up on the ice as they were skating around, and the puck follow. You had the old 1990s Fox glow puck,
right?
Basically, so anytime the puck would move down the ice, if it was moving at a high rate of speed, there'd be a red tail trailing behind it, that kind of deal. So you could literally watch the ice and see stuff happen. You could see players changing on the bench and all that kind of stuff. It really was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I actually really liked it. I actually caught myself because. Okay, I could see where the puck is. I could see where players are. I was actually watching the player movement on the ice.
Right, versus
what was on the screen.
Yeah.
Because you got to see the whole ice.
Right.
Which I thought was a lot of fun.
That is pretty cool that they do that.
It really was. And I took a video. If you go at the Fan Rookie or check out 99.9 The Fan on social media, I actually posted a video of the Logan Stankoven goal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was sending it. I was like, I want to show it to my fiance. She wasn't able to make it last night because it got sold out.
Yeah.
But I was going to send the video to my fiance to show her, hey, the little interactive, like the tracking stuff on the ice. I wanted to show it to her. And then so like, okay, here's the face-off. You can see the puck get one back. Here's Jackson Blake comes into the face-off dot, moves it back to Jalen Chatfield. He shoots the puck and all. Oh, like Stankoven scores. And I got a video of like that happening.
Right.
Just by chance. And it was like, but anyway, the Canes fans were super awesome last night. That place was packed. The energy was amazing. I actually remember Game 3. I know I'm just talking here because again, I'm giving Canes fans love because Canes fans deserve respect.
Oh yeah.
For their passion and the fact that they've shown up.
Yeah.
For these playoffs. Not just at the arena, but everywhere. So Game 3, remember when they fouled behind 4-0?
Mm-hmm.
My fiance and I, we didn't go to the watch party at Lenovo, but we actually went to a sports bar for the first couple periods of the game, about 5 minutes from where we live right here in Raleigh. And after the second period, okay, it's 4-0. We got to go home and take care of the dog. Let's get him out for a walk. He was home alone for a good chunk of the day. So we're taking him out for a walk and all that kind of stuff. We'll come back and we'll watch the third period. We have the game paused at home and all that kind of stuff. And as the crow flies, we're not too far from downtown Raleigh where we live. And we're walking the dog and we hear like this crowd cheering.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, all right. I guess something good happened.
Yeah.
Then you hear like a louder cheer not that long right after. It's like, oh, okay. All right.
Interesting.
I thought it was maybe like a group of people at a house that was nearby. And then you hear an even louder pop. This is the 3 goals in 39 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
It was coming from downtown Raleigh.
That's crazy.
It's like the Smoky Hollow area downtown.
Yeah.
It was coming from there.
That's nuts.
As the crow flies, we're a couple miles away.
Mm-hmm.
We could hear that.
Yeah.
That's how loud they were. We could hear from 2 miles away.
Now, if you could start hearing it from my house, then that's a whole nother story.
That's outside the county lines, Victoria.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You could have.
You maybe could have, yeah. Next time we score, I'm going to stand outside.
And then now tomorrow they're going to have the official watch party. It's going to be at Red Hat Amphitheater downtown, which holds several thousand people.
That'll be fun.
It's going to be awesome. It really is. Stay hydrated, folks. It's hot. Chance of the storm. But anyway, stay hydrated.
Yes.
All right. I know we ate up a lot of time, but I wanted to give Canes fans their proper due.
Well, and I agree with you. I think that's a good thing to do because honestly, people are taking pictures of like, you would never know that a game wasn't happening in Lenovo Center because you've got people tailgating all afternoon, standing in line, coming inside, cheering as if players are actually on the ice. So kudos. We have the best fan base.
It's like facts. Yeah. We genuinely do. All right, Victoria, we got 5 minutes here. Minute takes. Let's fire it up. 1 minute thoughts on the Carolina Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup final so far. Victoria, hit this timer. Alexander Nikishin still has a ways to go as a player. We see his physical skills. We see his physical abilities and what he's capable of doing. But there is still the adjustment to the NHL level that he is still going through. These are growing pains. Even though he's 24 years old, it's his first full year in North America playing hockey. He still has a ways to go. And I know a lot of Carolina Hurricanes fans were at me at plenty of times, even last year during the postseason. How can you not play this guy and all that stuff? Because Rod's saying he's not ready. And we're seeing mistakes in his first full postseason at times. He has the physical abilities with the shot. He has the size. But the decision-making, the indecisiveness, I guess you could say, it's hurting the Carolina Hurricanes at times. But he has a bright, bright future. He truly does. Next one. Andrei Svechnikov. This team needs more from you from a production standpoint. Right now in this Stanley Cup final, Andrei Svechnikov has 4 shots on goal. 4 shots on goal. 3 of those came in Game 3. He has 1 point. That was a goal, a big one. Granted, it was a big one in Game 3 on a power play with just under 2 minutes left to play that tied the game, that helped force the game into overtime. So he did score a goal when it was needed. But as a whole, he's been absent. Only 4 shots on goal. Again, 3 of them in game number 3. He's been a -4 this postseason as well. I'm sorry, -4 in this series as well. He has to be more productive. Now, so he does have an assist in game 2. So, I'm sorry, 2 points. 1 goal, 1 assist. But he needs to be more productive. Next one here. Jalen Chatfield, I felt yesterday, did a phenomenal job. He doesn't get a ton of credit, but let's keep in mind the very first goal that was scored. Face-off comes back to him. He does a great job getting towards the middle of the ice and putting the puck towards the net, and it made sure it got through. Now, it didn't hit the net, but he got a lively bounce off the end boards, just like the Carolina Hurricanes had against them in double overtime. That lively bounce off the end boards, and it popped right to Logan Stankoven. I actually thought that between Jalen Chatfield and Jacob Slavin last night, that Jalen Chatfield was the better of the two. Now, has he been perfect this postseason? No. I thought Jalen Chatfield really, truly had an impactful game last night. He was +2, had the assist, played nearly 23 minutes of ice time, had 4 hits, had a takeaway, and didn't turn the puck. Fantastic job. Next one, Victoria. How about that penalty kill?
Oh, yeah.
How about the penalty kill in this series? The penalty kill in this series, they've only allowed 1 goal against one of the top power play teams from both the regular season and the postseason. They've only allowed 1 goal.
Love their PK way more than their power play, by the way.
We'll get in the power play here in just a second.
Yeah.
But the PK's been great. And there's even a time for about a nerve-wracking 90 seconds last night in the second period where Jordan Staal has this stick break.
Right, and it's 5-on-3, basically.
He's like a half.
So like 5 and 3.5. Yeah.
Because he's a big man. But they were able to. They didn't overextend themselves. They understood the situation, and they were still able to get the job done. Penalty kill, been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal for the Carolina Hurricanes. I'll even give my time back. I yield my time back. All right, and the final one here, Victoria. You mentioned the power play. Now, there have been some power play moments where it's kind of like, what are you doing? But if you look at this power play for the Carolina Hurricanes in this series, in particular, Victoria, the power play, they're 4 of 11. That's well north of 30%. That's darn near 40% on the power play. They have power play goals in each of the last 3 games. Jordan Staal had a big one yesterday that made it 3-1. They scored on a power play in game number 2 to tie the game. They scored on a power play in overtime to win the game in game 2. They scored a power play goal to tie the game in game number 3. The power play, even though they've had a couple stinkers in there, they're still 4 of 11 in this series. 4 of 11. Pretty darn good. Those are a minute takes from the Carolina Hurricanes. Just had to get some small thoughts out there.
Yeah,
the team.
Throw them
some
out
small thoughts on there. There are some big personnel decisions that are going to be made this offseason. Don't worry, folks. We're going to come back to the Carolina Hurricanes here in just a little bit. We're going to have that Brandon Bussi conversation. But there are some big decisions that are going to be taking place in Charlotte this offseason. In particular, Chris Brazzell, Xavier Legette, Jimmy Horn Jr., does he make the team? There are a lot of big questions. Who's an underlying player that we don't know about that we got to keep in mind? Because guess what, Victoria? Training camp for the Carolina Panthers, it's basically a month away.
Yeah.
We are less than 100 days till the opening kickoff.
Wow.
I think actually it's 94 days before their actual real first game. We're less than 100 days, Victoria. Like 94. 94!
Yeah. Love it.
Till September 13th when they kick off against the Chicago Bears. 94 days. Who are going to be some of those impact players? Who won't be on the team? We'll talk with Kaye at the Charlotte Observer next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Have you ever considered a career as a public power line worker? Line workers in public power communities keep the electricity flowing to families and businesses. As a public power line worker, you're part of a team that builds and maintains a locally owned and operated electric system. You can work close to home, grow your career, and support your local community by providing safe, reliable, and sustainable electricity. Learn more about public power and careers in public power at electricities.com.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Card 7 years in a row, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops. Our philosophy is simple: be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Carolina Complete Health, from neighborhoods in Charlotte to families in Greensboro, Raleigh, and Durham, all the way to Asheville and Wilmington, and everything in between. We are here for communities across North Carolina, connecting you to the care and support you need. We are here to make healthcare easier to access and understand. We are here to bridge the gap, because your health matters. Your community matters. You matter. We are here for your health. Visit hereforyourhealthnc.com.
As public power customers, we experience fewer outages and faster restoration than customers of other electric providers. But the benefits of having a locally owned electric system go far beyond unbeaten reliability. Our local public power employees support our community, providing electric hookups for events, installing and maintaining ballpark lights, holiday lights, traffic lights, street lights, and more. Local people working together to meet local needs. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Your child's doctor shares your goals, a healthy future for your child. Doctors recommend vaccines throughout childhood because they protect what matters most, your child's future from preventable disease and serious illness. Discuss any questions you have and check that your child is up to date and talk about any concerns. You're right to have questions. Get real answers. Start a conversation with your doctor today. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
One Adam. Gold. One Adam. Gold.
Turtle cake? Like, what are we... what?
Isn't that an ice cream?
What? Where's the confetti cake? Because, hello, confetti cake, delicious. With the little, I don't even know if it's real, but the little dots in the icing, like...
None of these are real.
What kind of fake thing that is, but it's delicious. It's my childhood. Like, that wasn't in the top 10. His opinion's invalid to me.
The Adam Gold Show.
Even though we have a Stanley Cup final run going on here in Raleigh, here in the state of North Carolina with the Carolina Hurricanes, that doesn't mean we completely ignore what's going on down in Charlotte with the Carolina Panthers as mandatory minicamp is taking place. Started yesterday, runs all the way through tomorrow. So to join us to give us the latest on Panthers training camp and the Panthers offseason, we turn it to our trusted friend Mike Kaye of the Charlotte Observer, joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. All right, Mike, the question that a lot of people have. Thank you again for your time. The question a lot of people have. Chris Brazzell, Xavier Legette, who's going to be that number 3 wide receiver? What have you seen from these two guys here during the offseason?
Well, I think Chris Brazzell looks pretty good, especially playing the X position with Tetro McMillan sideline with foot soreness. But I don't think that'll be his role moving forward. I want Team X to take on press because he can beat it. He's proven that he's willing to do that and succeed. So I think what you're looking at is Brazzell's a guy who can kind of play everywhere, and that might help him, but it also might hurt him in that Legette might be a better shift move guy at the Z position. And Legette looks fast. He looks like he's catching the ball confidently. But we've only been out there for 3 workouts, so it's kind of hard to put like a bullseye on who's getting that job right now.
What role do you see for Brazzell possibly carving out for himself? Like you said, he's filling in for Tetro McMillan, dealing with the foot soreness and all that. What is an ideal role, do you think, for Brazzell, this third-round pick?
Well, this offense has its roots in the West Coast, so you want a guy who can be able to take the top off defense. You want a guy who can run go routes and post routes and be able to open things up underneath for the run game, for the slot receivers, for the tight ends. And I think that's what you're going to look at with Brazzell. Like, I wouldn't have heavy expectations with numbers. Like, if he has, let's say, like 37 catches for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns, I think they would view that as a huge success for this rookie season.
Mike Kaye, the Charlotte Observer, joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Speaking of this wide receiver position, obviously we know that T-Mac and Jalen Coker, those guys are 1-2. Then you have Legette and Brazzell, it feels like. But then after that, there's a lot of congestion for probably maybe 2 spots, potentially 3. We know how much Dave Canales values David Moore and Bryce and Tremaine with what they could do as special teams. You have a young guy like Jimmy Horn Jr., even though he's undersized, we know the quickness and speed that he brings. Oh, you just happened to sign John Mechie this offseason as well, who just happened to have a great time in Alabama playing with Bryce Young. Someone's going to get left out of the mix. Do you see a potential that Dave Canales and Dan Morgan potentially keep 7 wide receivers on this roster, or do you think it gets trimmed down to 6?
Well, they've kept 7 on the 53-man roster after initial cuts each of the last 2 years, so I expect them to follow suit this year because there hasn't really been any reason to defer from that 7 receiver mix. I think you look at Legette, T-Mac, Brazzell, and Coker as your base. And then, like you said, there are probably like 6 guys competing for 3 spots. And I know a lot of people are kind of over the whole Dave Moore thing, but David Moore's outproducing pretty much everybody outside of Jalen Coker and OTAs right now. He can play all 3 positions. He's versatile. And as I said on the Processing Blue podcast this morning, he's a guy that is your get out of depth issues free card for this team. He should not be a starter. He shouldn't be on the top 4 wide receivers in the group. But if one of those guys goes down, you know you can insert David Moore and not worry about inexperience or a lack of knowledge of the system or a lack of playmaking ability. You know exactly what he is. And I think every wide receiver group, really every position, needs a guy who is a utility backup. You know, you talk about super utility players in baseball. You want a guy who can play both corner outfield spots and a couple of infield spots. That's who David Moore is as a wide receiver. He can play X, he can play Z, he can play Y. And to me, that's more valuable than maybe waiting on the upside of someone like Jimmy Horn Jr., who they kind of had to, like, find a role for. I think Jimmy Horn being on the field kind of takes away from the traits that Trevor Etienne has as a movement player, kind of a gadget guy. So there's that too, and I think they feel pretty good about Trevor Etienne right now. So Jimmy Horn is going to be on the bubble. John Mechie, I haven't necessarily been impressed by. Like, obviously he's new to the offense, but he basically looks like every other guy out there that's competing for a job. A guy to watch, though, Jasim Reed. He is a guy that impressed a lot of people last year on the practice squad, and he is a guy that I think could sneak into the Bryce and Tremaine territory this offseason.
That's an interesting note there, Jasim Reed. That's like you mentioned, Bryce and Tremaine for a lot of Panthers fans kind of came out of nowhere last year, and Dave Canales was gassing him up a little bit. And we're like, we don't know who this guy is, and sure enough, he makes the team and carves himself out a role. We know that Dan Morgan and Dave Canales like to potentially find guys that are maybe diamonds in the rough and fill a role. Mike Kaye of the Charlotte Observer joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Let's actually switch over to the other side of the ball. So there's something that you posted yesterday on X, which, by the way, if you don't follow Mike Kaye, the Charlotte Observer, either A, follow his work at the Charlotte Observer, or follow his content he posts on X. Phenomenal stuff if you want any Carolina Panther insight. There's something you posted yesterday that really caught my attention. That was Shaw Smith-Wade actually getting work with the safety group. Now, he's been primarily playing as a nickel corner the last 2 years since being a fifth-round pick out of Washington State. But him playing with the safeties a little bit, do you think that's just kind of is this a temporary thing just to kind of see how things work out, or is this might be a permanent switch for Shaw Smith-Wade?
Well, I knew you do a lot of film work, but if you look back after he kind of lost the starting nickel job for a couple of weeks to Corey Thornton, there were opportunities for him to play safety quite a bit. And he kind of mixed and matched in there when they had the big nickel package. It allowed Trevon Merrick to play the nickel position or move into dime linebacker. It allowed him to get two pretty big coverage assets in Nick Scott and Shaw Smith-Wade out there as well with, like, deep passes. He's a guy that has experience. He's probably one of the better studiers and X's and O's guys behind the scenes. Dave Canales called him cerebral yesterday. He's a guy that never played the nickel corner position in college, and then all of a sudden he's the starter down the stretch at nickel his rookie year. So while I don't think he's particularly adequate as a starting talent at nickel, or at least a favorite to start at nickel this year, I think if you were to make him the insurance for somebody like Nick Scott, who has a similar build, which, by the way, is not what Ejiro Evero typically subscribes to, or Dan Morgan, I think you feel good about that just because of his deep coverage. He's got a lot of experience as an outside corner. Obviously, the nickel position he can play. And Corey Thornton seems to be the favorite to win the nickel job just based on everything we're seeing and hearing from Dave Canales.
I remember last year when I remember correctly, Trayvon Merrick was suspended. We saw Lathan Ransom fill in his role, and we saw Shaw Smith-Wade filling in Lathan Ransom's role. So we have seen him play in that deep safety spot a little bit before, but that versatility is a good thing to have when there's so few spots on the roster. Is there anyone out there, I know you mentioned Jasim Reed on the offensive side at wide receiver that could potentially earn himself a roster spot. Whom among the defenders, the guys that play on the defensive side of the ball, potentially that we may not know about that could potentially steal a roster spot?
Well, you know about him because of where he's from, but Aaron Hall is having himself a really nice OTA session. He's one of those guys that, like Corey Thornton, was told before they even got to Carolina, he was a guy to look out for by people internally. And he's a guy that fits absolutely perfectly in Turk Wharton's role as an get upfield 3 technique or a 5 technique or a 4-eye. He's a guy that can be mixed and matched around. He's probably not going to get you good sack numbers, but he'll get you plenty of pressure and he'll collapse the pocket. Just seems like a really sharp guy. We had him on the Processing Blue podcast like right after he agreed to sign. Just a sharp kid. Grew up a Panthers fan and Packers, oddly enough.
Huh.
And he's a guy that, you know, football's his blood. His dad played in college. He's a guy that makes sense from a technique standpoint. There's Devontae Smith, no, not the number 1 wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles, but the nickel corner. He played at Alabama with Bryce Young, then transferred to Notre Dame's final year of college. He's a guy that has looked pretty good. I think he's right on the outside of the roster mix right now, but he's somebody to watch. And then I think Zakee Wheatley is a guy who's gotten a lot of press for a 5th-round pick. A lot of people think he was overdrafted. based on my conversations with scouts, that's not the case. And I think we're building him up a lot, but he has had some pretty nice days with second-team defense over the last few weeks.
Mike Kaye of the Charlotte Observer. By the way, Aaron Hall, I was anticipating you saying that name. I know a lot of people were.
Oh, I know you were.
Yeah, I know a lot of people around here. We were mentioning Aaron Hall about potential undrafted free agent that could make this team, and then with the Turk Wharton injury, like you mentioned, it seems like he's the right fit. A final question here for Mike Kaye of the Charlotte Observer. Thank you again for your time. Really do appreciate it.
Of course.
When we look at this Panthers roster and from what you see right now, from how this core group's been together for a couple of years, what have you noticed in terms of difference of culture from when Dave Canales first took over back at the beginning of the 2024 season to what you see right now? What have you seen difference just from the group of guys that are out there in the field and just how things operate?
You know, it's funny. The best gifts that Matt Rule gave this organization were okaying drafting Derek Brown, Tommy Trumbull, and Chuba Hubbard, because really those guys have been the culture guys. J.C. Horn to an extent as well, but those guys are the difference. I don't know that Dave Canales makes it through year 1 to year 2 without the way Chuba Hubbard handled the offense and the leadership behind the scenes, with Bryce getting benched and then Miles Sanders falling apart and all this other stuff. And I just think they've set the tone. And then they brought in guys who are good dudes. You know, it's not just the guy who had been there, who had seen the worst of this franchise. It's guys who looked at this franchise as an opportunity to better themselves, have bigger roles, and have a lot more stake in stuff like Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis and Trevon Merrick. I think Devin Lloyd and Jalen Phillips are really good people, and they're good guys to add to the mix. I just think overall they've added guys that they're winning with the person as well as the talent.
I know Panthers fans love hearing that. I know a lot of Carolina Hurricanes fans across the state of North Carolina talk about Carolina culture when it comes to the Canes, and I think we're seeing a lot of that building in with the Carolina Panthers as well. Mike Kaye, Charlotte Observer, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the day. Stay cool out there during these OTAs and these mini camps. Big thanks to Mike Kaye of the Charlotte Observer for joining us and having that conversation. To kind of tie this in, Victoria, with the Carolina Hurricanes. By the way, Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Adam Gold will be back tomorrow for Game 5, the Stanley Cup Finals, Victoria.
I'm
Dennis
so
Cox in for
excited.
AG. I know, I'm excited as well.
I don't even care how tired I'm going to be on Friday.
Look, I was actually just talking to someone in the hallway, like we're spent.
Oh, yeah.
We honestly, we probably have 3 or more of these things to go.
Yes.
Strap in, folks.
I would love.
But the Carolina Panthers have done something that the Carolina Hurricanes have done in terms of finding players through other teams' systems that may fall through the cracks. Like, for example, Jalen Chatfield, a guy we mentioned just a little bit ago, was an undrafted free agent, was part of the Vancouver Canucks organization, played a few games there, but they didn't tender him an offer. They're basically thought yeah, he's expendable. He's just another guy. But there's something about the way he played that the Carolina Hurricanes said, you can fit with us. There's something about your game that fits what we do. They brought him into the organization, spent a year in Chicago with the Chicago Wolves, won a Calder Cup, an AHL championship with Chicago, and then sure enough, eventually gets a crack at the NHL lineup and then earns a spot. Not only earns a spot, earns a contract extension. Now he's a top pair defenseman on a team that's 2 wins away from winning a Stanley Cup. Much like you find a player like a Corey Thornton, undrafted player, or Jalen Coker, undrafted player, like the Carolina Panthers have done, or what the Carolina Hurricanes have done with Brandon Bussi, a guy that they kept on their radar when they had the opportunity to get him, and there was a need there. They jumped on it. And they said this is something that someone that we had on our radar for a time. And last night he finally got his chance to start in a Stanley Cup final game. And let's actually go to the soundbite of Brandon Bussi, Victoria, about when he found out that he was actually starting in a game. Now, he played some in Game 3. Came in the third period, played the third period, played first overtime, played the second overtime. Basically the equivalent of a full game, just about. But what about him actually starting? When did he find out? Here's Brandon Bussi last night explaining.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Rod talk about that when he told me, but all that matters is that I found out at some point. So obviously, it's cool to help the team, win. So, and in regards to the future, whatever happens, I'll be ready to go.
He's ready to go when his number's called upon. You never know who's going to step up in those moments. You never know who's going to step up. But at some point, you have to trust somebody to prove that they can or cannot. We saw last year in the playoffs, we saw Jalen Coker get more playing time as the season went along, eventually became the starter, and then guess what he did in the playoffs last year? Put up one hell of a performance.
He balled out.
One hell of a performance.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Brandon Bussi last night with 7 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. Make an unbelievable save on Jack Eichel, point blank, on a beautiful pass and a beautiful setup. You described it earlier, Victoria, as a perfectly set up. And Brandon Bussi comes across and makes the save. Now, was Bussi perfect last night? No, he wasn't.
Right.
Let's not forget as well, he got beat by a shot by Jack Eichel that rang the crossbar.
Exactly.
Let's not forget that.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't perfect, but I do think this, Victoria, I'm 10 toes down in it.
Yep.
Getting a chance to play in Game 3 helped get him a taste of hockey in the playoffs. Getting that first start out of the way and getting a win, now he understands how to handle the jitters of knowing that you're going to start a game. And then now, again, I'm going to say this again. I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. Brandon Bussi, in my eyes, should start game number 5. Because here's the thing. The more live reps that he sees, game action, because, again, it's basically been 2 months that he actually played in a real game. Practice ain't the same as a real game. But the fact that he actually got live reps in a real game matters. And he's got a feel for it. He can kind of get back to that pace. He'll be up to speed even better, I think, going into a third game tomorrow. And a third game for him. And guess what? You don't have to worry about him wearing down. Because, yes, you have the travel day. Yeah, the travel day, they're traveling. I don't know if they're still on a flight right now. They're probably already back in Raleigh. But, yeah, the travel day from Vegas, again, Pacific time, all the way up to Easter time. It's a long flight. Travel time, all time zone changes, all that kind of stuff. But then once you play here, Game 5, Game 6, you have a couple days between games before you get to Game 6, and a couple days before you get play a Game 7. I think Brandon Bussi has earned himself the right to start to another game. And guess what? If it doesn't work out, you can still go back to Freddie, who should have that nice mental reset and physical reset for himself too. It's okay to do that. But I think you ride with Bussi in game number 5.
All on the bus. Let's go.
I'm 10 toes down in it.
Yes.
Adam Gold's back tomorrow. We'll get you ready for game 5. Victoria, thanks for you. Thank you for listening and watching as well. Till next time, we bid you adieu. Goodbye and good night.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Today, we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Dylan.
I actually used to manage a parts department for a car dealership, and we would get stuff from Rock Auto if I couldn't get it from my dealership suppliers. You pick the year, you go through all the drop-down menus, and it just makes it really easy to navigate and see what you want. Like a wheel bearing, for instance, for a Corvair that I have. Rock Auto's catalog made it really easy to find that specific one that I was looking for.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
This is Ray Womble Jr. from J.E. Womble & Sons in Lillington. Spring is here and lawn mowing will be in full force. Our new lineup of Bobcat zero-turn mowers are bringing tough to turf. Built to give you a professional edge, engineered to last longer and work harder. Come check out the Bobcat ZT 2000 series at a discount of $1,200